Or content. The following stream contains content that may not be suitable for all audiences, including mature themes, strong language, and potentially sensitive material. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, J-Bone Nation! Shaming of Jay. He's not a dopey dumb bitch. He gets laid. The court jester, the court DJ. It's time to dive into the case. To the case.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Day 111, Young Thug trial. Little Woo D has a new attorney. Will he like the attorney? I don't know. Oh, it's been a fun morning already. I got someone on TikTok calling me a racist, so I made a new little Woo D video, and I was an idiot. Oh, Bob. I didn't think Bob was. I thought Bob was doing. What is up, Bob? I thought you. I figured you were doing your the tells today.
Huh?
I thought you were doing tells today.
Yeah, it doesn't go until openings aren't until like 12:30. Some shit.
Oh,
so I'll dip.
Welcome.
Yeah. I'll fucking hang with you. Watch some Little Woo.
Little Woo. I was just saying I'm getting called a racist on TikTok. So I made a new video about Little Woo D's most recent testimony. And I was so cognizant of the fact that it's not Woody. He's very clear. It's not. He doesn't want to be called Little Woody. That's not it. It's Woo D, right? Except for some reason, I kept saying Woo Day, like Who Day, for some reason. And quite frankly, it's probably because I'm just not very bright. So in the video, I'm saying Little Woo Day, and everyone's making fun of me, and I'm like, yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I messed it up. And then I posted a reply, and I said, yes, it's Woo Day. It's not Woody. It's Woo Day. I'm sorry. It's
Woo D.
Woo D. For some reason, I'm saying Woo Day in this video, and I even think I said
it's like Who Day, Who Dat.
Right.
Who
for some reason, I'm saying it like it's Who Day, and it's not. It's Woo D. So anyway, I make a video. I post a video of him explaining how people get it wrong all the time. It's not Woody like Woody from Toy Story. It's Woo D. And this woman is just coming at me back and forth that I'm a racist. It's because because like if it was Woody from Toy Story, then I would get it right, and that's the whole point. I'm like, that's the whole point. It's not like Woody from Toy Story. It's Woo D. So anyway, right. I've been going back.
He should spell it WOOODY. Right. That would make it much clearer that it's Woo. I was calling him Woody forever until Allison's like, oh, I heard that
she's the one that told me too.
Right. It's Woo Day or Woo. See, now you got me doing it.
Sorry, now I got
Woody.
You doing it.
We know. Allison's screaming. It's Woody.
Woody.
No.
Oh, look at Thug's got a nice little sweater, babe. I'm sure it'll be on top of that sweater.
Handsome. It's very handsome.
So,
wow. Yeah. I didn't miss that Michigas on. I missed that on Twitter.
No, that was on
or on TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. At this point, I'm just
call me a racist because I called Twitter TikTok. TikTok Twitter.
So now I'm just thanking the person. I'm like, thanks for the continued comments,
Mr. Engelberger.
Woo D.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for jumping in.
This is the new attorney.
Been called upon. All right. Have you and Mr. Copeland had an opportunity to discuss his case, matters, witness?
Yes.
Okay. And he was in the middle of testifying, as I think you know. Is he going to continue testifying?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate your stepping in.
So, did you see somebody post a picture of the judge and
can't hear? Come on up to the podium. We all have to use our microphone.
Oh no, I did not.
It was Josh Jeffery.
Yeah, that is probably true.
Turn on the mic, dude. We can't hear you. For folks who are coming in and may not been there yesterday, this is little Woo D's new court-appointed attorney since its attorney was suspended for 6 months.
Do any of the attorneys have anything to raise before we, I don't know if we have the jury quite ready or not, but we should within the next few minutes. Anybody have anything before that?
So weird, man. Like,
Your Honor, I received
when I go through my channels
in the evening from the Honorable Max Shard.
You know how it shows the little symbol, the red thing that you're live on YouTube?
February 20th, 2000.
The shit's still not showing live, but when I go to the channel, you're live.
That's annoying.
That's how it was communicated to me. And that's Mr. Copeland, Ms. Quarterman, and Detective Curry.
Okay.
So I have, and I'll put in writing if you want, based upon the testimony, I don't know how we want to do it. We should get together with the state first and see what parts they want to play, and then we have objections to it. But anyway, I reviewed that recording, so I'm prepared to quickly, and I could put in writing all my time slots to
there you go.
What I think would be, whatever my objection will be spelled out. Confrontation clause, hearsay. Ms. Quarterman, to my knowledge, not testifying. Detective Curry, to my knowledge, not testifying. So I have those type of objections, as well as relevance, as well as not inconsistent statement. But I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I just want to alert you that if the state wants to play that like this morning, that may be an issue. That's all I wanted to bring up. It may not be an issue at this time.
Okay. And who's the female? Is that another detective?
I apologize. That's his, and when I say his, I apologize that too. Mr. Copeland's significant other.
Okay.
It's been referred to as Quarterman.
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 Hopefully. I got that right.
Sounds like you crushed it.
Does she make any kind of statements on
like
there?
a true racist would.
Good morning, Your
Figured
Honor.
you got a white guy's name right.
That Ms. Quarterman states is in response to something that Mr. Copeland says. So you would need to hear her question to understand Mr. Copeland's answer. So it would be the rule of completeness to understand in context what Mr. Copeland is responding to. But if Mr. Steele wants to give us what his objections are, we can look at them. There might be some that we can agree to.
Well, to speed it up, I'm sorry. You were
Good.
The first 12 minutes is Detective Curry asking Ms. Quarterman what she saw. So this, Your Honor, you heard testimony yesterday, and I understand it's a blizzard that we put you into. But it's February 20th, 2021. Mr. Copeland's carrying a child to a car. Ms. Quarterman, they're going to hospital, if you remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Quarterman is there. She's a witness. So she's asked the first 12 minutes by the detective, and they're both sitting there, so it's kind of an odd interview, but the detective says, I'm going to start with you. What did you see? So that's not, in my opinion, a rule of completeness issue. There is a portion when the detective leaves the room. I believe that's what Ms. Hilton's referring to. And the two,
Jerry,
meaning
always
Mr.
so
Copeland
loud
and
in
Ms.
the mornings.
Quarterman, are
Sorry,
having
guys.
conversation. Ms. Quarterman is giving information that I don't believe would be part of completing the story, make it in context. She's giving her own information. But again, that's part of the issue.
Okay, thank you. Is the state's intention to play that first 12 or so minutes that is basically sounds like maybe the detective interviewing Ms. Quarterman?
Your Honor, anything that's just Ms. Quarterman and the detective, no. No. Anything that is just Ms. Quarterman and the detective, no, we don't intend on playing. But the other portions, like I said, if Mr. Steele could just give that to us, we can review it and look at it. I don't think that the statements will be played before lunchtime,
Okay.
Your Honor. And so we can have an opportunity to look at it. The state also intends on playing the January 11th statement. And so I did call Mr. Shard last night because both the January 11th statement, Your Honor, and the February 20th statement were played.
Little bits of them.
No, the whole thing were played in June, like June 17th.
Okay.
And so I did not have in my email any proposed redactions from the defense. So I wanted to confirm that, which is why I called Mr. Shard last night to find out, was there anything, because we did play, I believe, both of those interviews in its entirety back in June, Your Honor.
Okay, and do y'all anticipate objections to the January 11th statement other than those we've maybe already reviewed?
Well, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
So the January 11th statement, I did review that again last night. There are mentioned, my understanding of the task is to identify prejudicial, character, irrelevant, things of that nature, hearsay, confrontation clause. I've identified 3 areas on the transcript. I went by the transcript because we have, unfortunately for all of us, we have MP4 format and an evidence reviewer format. And seems like whenever I use a time, the state's on the other time and vice versa. So I'm using the transcript. On page 5, Kenneth Copeland is talking about Mr. Mr. Kelvin Watts, shooting up about the meeting, about the blood meeting supposedly with this gentleman Mo on the line, and I have previously objected to that, saying it's hearsay. I think we've already addressed that issue, and Your Honor has not agreed with me, but for the record, page 5 of that transcript for the January 11th hearing, that's discussed. Page 7, he being Kenneth Copeland talks about speaking to Demekion Garlington, and Demekion Garlington says, "They say Nut just got killed, bro." That's the extent of what he says was said at that time. I believe that is hearsay. And then on page 26, that was page 7. On page 26 of the transcript, there's talk about Kenneth Copeland knowing that Shell Kell shut up the gambling house, and eventually he says thug. I refer to him as Mr. Jeffrey Williams. The raid, that saying that they need to pay for the window. Mm-hmm. Those are 3 topics that we've talked about in my previous proposed redactions. So, and Your Honor's already ruled on it, but for the record, I just need to state that those are objections I have to playing the audio. All that being said, Your Honor, my understanding of where we are right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, the defense has flagged objections that we had that were obvious objections. The state, I understand, is planning on playing videos. We have not addressed whether a foundation has been laid to just play the videos wholesale.
Okay.
I know that Miss Hilton's been asking a lot of questions and has gotten varied responses from Mr. Copeland to her questions, but I still think that that's a topic that needs to be discussed. The state is the proponent of these prior inconsistent statements, as they're labeling them. So I believe that burdens on them to show that a foundation's been laid. So from my perspective, we haven't had that discussion yet. We just had the initial flagging of obvious issues because we didn't know Mr. Copeland's testimony at the time where we were discussing these things. He still understands, so quite frankly, we still don't.
So at this point, Your Honor, the state has gone through with Mr. Copeland the January 11th interview, the February 20th interview, the February 21st, and the January 28th interview, Your Honor. The state's position at this time is that Mr. Copeland has stated he doesn't recall anything that he told police at all in any of these interviews. And while I have been going line by line, which has been a very tedious task, the fact that he has said, I don't recall, I believe I can play the entirety of the interview, given that that's his blanket statement. But in an abundance of caution, the state has been going line by line. But I think I'm at the place, in all honesty, that I can play all these interviews outside of the redactions
Yeah, I think that the foundation's been laid, that he's been given an opportunity he's been presented with them, he's been given an opportunity to say whatever he wants to say about them. He has essentially said wholesale, I don't remember a single word I ever said to anybody who is law enforcement, including every bit of these things, and they would be able to be played now the foundation's been laid. With regard, Mr. Steele, to your objections to the February 20th statement, other than the parts that I understand the state does not intend to play, that are essentially Detective Curry interviewing Ms. Quarterman, are your other objections new objections or things we've already been over?
I don't believe we've been over them.
Okay.
There's speeches made, that's my word. Advice given by Detective Curry on how to live life. Mr. Copeland gives his pontification on what life is about. And they talk about belief in death, and I don't see
okay.
that relevant.
All right.
I marked those things. We didn't talk about.
Can you quickly get those together and get them to the state? And maybe if there's agreement on some of those things, y'all can come to that agreement, and whatever is left we can deal with over the lunch break. Sounds like maybe we're going to have a working lunch.
I think I can do that.
Okay, great. Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you.
And Your Honor, I understand the court's ruling regarding the prior inconsistent statements. Just so I don't have to be a jack-in-the-box popping up every
everybody's
minutes.
Got continuing objections to anything that they have already stated an objection to that's been overruled.
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
All right, anything else?
Welcome, Marshall. Thank you.
All right. We have Mr.
Marshall Mathers?
Available.
Sweet.
Dove.
Okay.
Oh,
and is the
Marshall
jury ready?
Dove. I thought Eminem was
Let's get
in
Mr.
the
Copeland
chat.
on the stand.
Going to hang with us in Little Woo.
Then we'll have the jury out.
That would have been cool.
All right. Thank you, Taryn, for reminding me. I now have I don't recall counter on the top of the screen. It just, I guess, depends on, sounds like they're just going to be showing them the video. So I did that for no reason. Thanks for being here. As we continue with Little Woo D's testimony. I want to thank everyone so much. I saw so many people went to the episode of Sidebar and commented. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. All right, we don't have a suit. We got a T-shirt.
Good morning. Oh, yeah, he is. Right. He's gone full 180.
Full cash.
I understand that you have had an 180 from the suit, to consult with Mr. Engelberger, and we will continue your testimony. And I'll just remind you that you are still under oath.
Okay. Good morning.
And if you missed it, tell us. We'll be starting, I think, around about 12:30 Eastern. So in like 3.5 hours, they did pick the jury.
12:30 my time.
12:30. So 1:30 Eastern.
1:30 Eastern.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, I hope that thing doesn't start that late every day. I truly hope not.
That's insane.
That's insane, dude.
But they do have a jury, so
yeah, they picked it. They got the jury. Yeah, that stream was a mess yesterday. I kept changing the time. People were in the chat.
You called it, though. Yeah. You called it.
Yeah, I think it was dragging. So I sent Scout off on her first day of 7th grade, man.
Oh shit! How was that?
Bittersweet.
How
it's
is
going
she feeling?
fast, dude. She's feeling great. She was excited.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Yeah. She made the volleyball team.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, it really creates a real cluster F with the softball, though. I don't know.
Oh boy,
I don't know how we're gonna work that out, man. It's like because fall ball they have practice every day for the volleyball.
There's a Sarah Boone hearing today? Go ahead,
is there a Sarah Boone hearing today?
I didn't know there was. I wasn't aware of it.
I got to go on Court TV from 2 to 3 my time too. Allie's going to be manning the ship.
Much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Miss Hilton, you can proceed.
Yeah, Scout's our youngest, Joni. We have four kids. We got 2 grown adult kids, 30-year-old daughter, 27-year-old son. He's a firefighter. Had his first fire, Jay.
378 Y Alpha.
Firefighter for
11th,
year and a half. First
interview
big fire.
Of Mr. Copeland to introduce for.
I was like, "Were you scared?" He's like, "No, I was excited."
That's awesome.
Right. I'm like, "Dude, we don't want you to have fires, bro."
Permission to publish?
You may.
Thank you.
And then we got an 18-year-old. And then Scouty. Our last one.
Uh-oh. Copeland's little Woody is falling asleep.
He's a little woozy.
Hey-o!
Wow. Super dad joke. I was dad joking early this morning. Got dad jokes, busted out the old book, dusted it off. Hey-o!
All right, looks like we got little Woo D in the interrogation room here.
We do, Leslie. Our sweet little granddaughter, Lila Grace. Little Grace. Sweetest little peanut ever. I'm really feeding the fun pie into her ear every time I see her. Hey, it's fun pie.
Nice.
Fun pie. Say fun pie. Fun pie.
What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? That's my activation. Okay, when you're going to talk, then I'm going to talk to his family. Okay? I'm going to let his family put it out. But please, Kim, one thing at a time. Okay, Kim? One thing at a time.
Do I supposed to be listening to it?
I know, man. It's frustrating. He's not going to stop. Okay? The brother is going to play it.
Yeah.
How old's your kid, Leslie? We are a home that takes in wayward souls, so we had a stretch where we had somebody living with us for like 6 years, man. My sister and her 3 kids came and lived with us. Dude, wow, that was hard.
My bad.
Hard, bro. Because at that point we still had 2 kids coming in, so it was 5 kids, my sister and Allie and I, and the dog. Yeah, it was a lot. I did a lot of hiding in my bedroom. A lot of hiding in the bedroom, Jay.
Yeah, I could barely handle me.
Dude, listen. It's a lot of hiding in my bedroom. I'm like, it's just too much.
It looks like they're trying to get little Woo D his. Of course, I make the counter, and there's going to be no I don't recalls because they're playing a video, but maybe eventually.
Oh, you did make the counter?
Yeah, I'll put it back up.
Oh, good. Taryn was asking for it in the
chat. One of the jurors
needs
to deal with something real fast, and we need to deal with some
Oh,
technology real fast.
I gotta fix the counter though.
What is that showing?
I don't know. It should
like,
stay on. So I gotta change.
I see the I don't recall in the upper right hand corner, but
I know why. This is why. There it is.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So we're starting fresh, kids, with the I don't recall counter.
What's up, Green? Thanks for being here. Did they just send the jury out? I just missed. You must be exhausted, by the way. You did 2 long.
3.
3.
Well, yeah, it was on. Well, it seemed like I was. Yeah, I did a Delphi. So we went.
Oh right, yeah, I meant last night. Yes, we did it. Then
oh
Delphi,
yeah.
Then Dorsch on his Commodore 64.
It's a long day, dude.
That's why I was like, I figured you'd be sleeping in today.
Dorsch couldn't get on. Like, I did not sign up for reading like that long ass BuzzFeed article, which was a really fascinating article, but still it was super long, man. I mean, I was reading it for an hour. I was expecting Bill to do most of the talking, so I got really.
If you guys aren't on Twitter, I shit you not. I'm going through Instagram. I follow little Woody on Instagram. I'm going through my stories, and I shit you not, he posts, here's my new song, and his new song is I Don't Recall. I posted it to my Twitter if you want to catch a little brief. So this
True
man
story.
He's a marketing genius. He has a new single called I Don't Recall. If you want to see, I posted it to Twitter. I can't post it here because I'll just get a copyright claim, but if you go to Twitter, his new single I Don't Recall is out. And he put on like his Instagram. He wants everyone to like post listening to it, and so he could post it to his story. So yeah, little Woody has his new single. Yeah, that's a good question from Lucia. She said not a question, but she's surprised your voice. Do you like have like tea or something that you'll like on a day like that? Your voice must be exhausted.
I don't know, man. No, I do drink tea occasionally. But yeah, it was a long one. Like I was genuinely afraid that my voice was going to give out at some point. But I was able to. But like when you read that much, like because I had read like a bunch of stuff for the Delphi thing. Well, you were in there for some of it, but it was like. At some point, I stopped being able to read. Like it's just so much. I'm like, oh my god, and I was getting shitty because I had gotten I was on for an hour and I'd gotten like a $2 super. I'm like, wow. I'm like, how much work do I have to put in for somebody to kick me a super? Like sniveling. I'm such a whiner. A huge baby.
Oh, let me give you guys an update on the FOIA. Listen to this shit. So. The FOIA, they sent me, I think I mentioned this, I paid $88. Actually, QB Designs is so kind if they're here to reimburse me the $86 I paid for what I thought was my request was all the recorded interviews in reference to the Dan Markel case, which I know there are several. There's at least 5 different people they have recorded interviews. So they send me a link for a download, and I downloaded, and it's Wendy Adelson, and I'm like, this is the one. Like, it would be nice to have, but I didn't need it because I've seen it a billion times. I've made videos about it, so I call them and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? I'm like, you said I requested all of them, and they're like, oh, well, they're gonna send you another one on a flash drive. I'm like, one? I'm like, there's specifically like 3 others I want, and they tell me who the other one is, which is Catherine McBonow, which is I think it's a proffer in the jail, which I don't even really want. I'm like, well, all right, fine. They're going to send me that with the flash. She's like, but there's none other. I'm like, I know there are other ones. I know for a fact. Well, it must be part of the active investigation. I'm like, this is from 2014. What active investigation is going on from 2014? So either but there's no what am I going to do? Speak to the manager? There's something I could do.
Yeah, you write a strongly worded letter to the FOIA manager.
Well, that was the supervisor because I called one person who sends me to the supervisor. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, all right, good. So they're going to send me whatever this other interview is in a flash drive. I'm like, all right, fine. And then I got an email this morning for a new invoice for that one, which is now $274. And I'm like, I am not for audio and video labor, quantity 13. So I reply, and I'm like, can you confirm what this is for? They're like, that's for the additional interviews requested. I'm like, can you please confirm the name and date of the interview? And I haven't received a response yet. Like, that's, to me, if that's 13, that better be 13 interviews, not just one more.
Yeah.
Which I guess if it's the 13 interviews, then it might be worth it. But I'm not paying it for one freaking other interview. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no way, dude. That's especially for some shit they're just putting on a flash drive, or even are they even doing that? They're just sending you the video, right? Via like Google Drive or some shit.
They sent me Wendy's via Google Drive, but apparently the other ones they can only send via flash drive. So
they must be longer.
It better be 13 other freaking videos. But of course, I've sent a response. Can you please confirm the name of the interviewee and the day of the interview? No response yet. So I'll have to call again. Fun.
Fun with FOIAs.
So we're on a little break here. Another thing that's happening, I told Bob, I have an interview, folks, on Friday with someone who reached out to me via social media based on all you guys sharing that post I did. But I'm not gonna say who it is. It's like a social media. Like I probably wouldn't even get it because while I do have experience, it's not like I feel like I don't have like I have my experience doing my stuff. So I don't know if someone wants. Anyway, so but the I'm like the person that it's for. It's a big kind of company / channel / whatever. They may not be on the same political. It's a political thing, and I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm not gonna give any information about, but like it's a little weird, and I'm getting ahead of myself because, like I said, they're probably not going to offer me any job, but it's a little weird because they're kind of on not the same spectrum that I'm on. Anyway, I'm all nervous about that. So Friday morning, I have a little
sounds scary.
So I mean, what
we avoid politics like the plague over here, man.
I know.
Like,
I mean, but the thing is, like, it wouldn't be me. You know what I mean? Like, I would be doing it for someone else.
Right, you're behind the scenes, but still, is your heart going to be in it?
Right, but is my heart in when if I have to go back to insurance and fucking deal with claims? You know what I mean?
No.
So, but thank you all for the good luck. So I'll see how it goes on Friday. I don't want to get like all like, but if it was like even if I could just get some experience doing it, like, but we'll see. It's a job. You're right. I don't want to. Good point. I don't want to overthink it. You're right. And this person was super, super kind to reach out to me. This like the top of the line person was like, "Hey, would you be interested?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So that's Friday morning.
Text me who it is because now I'm fucking. Allie text me about my sniveling.
Remember I sent it to. Oh, I could send it to you.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah,
but they want me to work for a specific person.
Yeah.
There's two people that are under that, thing, and they want me to work on one of the people.
Yeah,
potentially.
I googled them when you sent it to me. It's they're definitely not aligned.
Yeah.
With us, but like you said, I mean,
I'll see. I mean, I'm getting way like. This is a big time, account. So I don't even know, they're going to talk to me. I sent my new updated resume with my social media stuff, which is weird to look at. But, there's Steve. Steve's feeling okay. Did you hear? You were here when Steve, he has shingles of his eye?
Yeah, he got shingles in his eye.
That sounds terrible.
It's brutal. How is the eye, Steve-O? Steve, were you still going when I portaled people? I ended up cutting that article. I'm like, I'm not going to read anymore. I'm done. I'm going to send you all over to Steve. Hopefully you were still going. I wasn't sure because I went a little over an hour, like an hour or 15 or something like that. So I was hoping Steve was still going.
Yes, Luthi, I agree. If it's something I can work from home, that's definitely what
Huge.
I'm trying to do. Trying to do. I think I mentioned an attorney's firm reached out to me. I sent them my resume. They want someone to, I guess, kind of do research and depot summaries, which I used to have to read all the time. I've never made a depot summary, but I'm sure I could do it. Like for folks who don't know, at least in insurance, I don't know how it works in other cases, but it used to be my attorneys would take a deposition from my insured or the claimant. And then they don't just send you this full long transcript. Someone will typically, it's either the attorney or maybe a paralegal they'll summarize it. Like this person said this instead of the whole thing, because a depot transcript is a huge, massive thing. You get typically they send it to you where you can search the words. Like if there's a certain word you want to look at, it's like an index and everything. So I think that's what they're looking for. So yeah, we'll see. Scout's first day of 7th grade pick. Where was that? Did you post that on the Twitter?
On Twitter, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, they moved her bus stop, so that was super annoying. She's got to be on the bus. She's got to be at the bus stop at 7 a.m, man.
What time does she go to?
I think they get out at like 2:40 our time. So, yeah, it's a long day.
Yeah, I've seen like, and I don't know if it's true, but I've seen like a lot of like articles and researches. Like, we get our kids up way too fucking early. Like, kids, especially that age, like they need sleep, and we get these kids up so fucking early. They're not ready to go. Like, and then you expect them, and then a whole other thing is
learning something at 7:30 in the morning, dude.
Right.
Like,
they haven't like eaten anything. They're like like Sloan is upset. Her first class is freaking gym. So like, but like, and then they're all day, and we fucking give them so much homework. Where it's like it seems just. I hate the homework. I hate that. Like, I understand there has to be some homework, but the amount of homework that they give these kids to me is just like insane sometimes. And it's like,
yeah, it was funny last year. Maybe no, you know what? I think it was her last year of elementary school. Like the school made a policy there was going to be no homework, which was
nice,
which was cool, because like the year prior it was like tons of little, worksheets and shit, man. And it was a lot, because she'd come home and have to do hour and a half
right
of homework shit. And I'm like, what are y'all doing all day in school?
Exactly. And then they're supposed to do activities and stuff. It's like,
yeah, I mean, what?
6 a.m. Jeez, Gus. That is a commitment.
Yeah, I took like 4 or like 5 or 6 pictures, and I did like 2 in portrait mode, and like she switched to like a side view. Like, so like in the picture that I put up, she's like just standing, and I made the little first day of 7th grade sign. And then so she moved to the side, and I switched it to portrait mode, and like her new shorts that she got like are a little too big. So it's like they were like puffing out, and she's like, oh my God. She's like delete those. I'm like, no, they're great pics, because it makes her look like she has a gut.
I'm sure she's thrilled about that, Bob. Look at Allie. Allie coming in here saying she thought no homework was weird. So Allie's like, keep giving the kids the homework.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell why Allie would think that. She misspelled weird. So, sorry, babe.
Uh-oh, Bob's in trouble.
I'm in trouble. I heard something slam down there. She's coming. She's coming to get me.
Hey, Tina. Hey, Jan. Hey, Holly. Thanks for being here, guys. If you missed it, they're going to be playing a little Woo D's interview, but they had some technical issues, so they are just working on that now. And again, if you're coming in late at 1:30, Bob is going to be covering the Robert Tellis trial, which is, if you're not familiar with that case.
Statements. So, Jay, I hear like somebody like that account that you put me on Twitter that's following Tellis. Yeah. It sounds like his theory of defense is that he was being investigated, that there was a criminal investigation into bribery. And so it sounds like he's going to imply that the cops set him up in order to that he was framed.
Totally. It's a massive frame job. They somehow got into his house and cut up that uniform he was in, put on his couch, and the finger, the DNA.
Somehow got his DNA and put it under dude's fingernails. Wow, I can't wait to hear all that, buddy. That's going to be something.
Dude, Steve, I saw some of the testimony. Have you seen this other case? Are they going to ask you in court to talk about this other case? Holy shit, that case is. And this woman who's on the stand, who I think took a plea deal to not get the death penalty. She got life. I don't know for sure, but she is on the stand, and
she pled out, so she
not get the death penalty, right? So just to get life. So it's like this. I don't know all the details, but they get this woman into their house and they torture her and kill her, and
for 34 days.
34 days. Oh, I did miss that. 34 days.
34 days they had her captive. I think. Like, don't 100% quote me on, but I'm pretty sure it was 34 days. I like when we when we got bounced because of the lawyer snafu over here, like I went over to Gisella's, she's streaming it, so I was checking it out with the Grizzlies, and I was like, holy shit. And that was like, I think she was the first witness they put on. Like that, the who was like this dude's lover. 3 or 4 days. God damn it. That's on there. Wait, is it 3 or 4 days, Shannon's?
Does anyone know the what the actual
it definitely, I could have heard 3 or 4 days and thought it was 34 days. Definitely could have been like what happened there.
It's Allie. The court is having an issue with playing and I think it might be specifically have Wu D here.
All right, so Shannon Cooper has verified that it is 3 or 4, not 34. Which either way, it's horrible,
awful.
But yeah, 34 was like insane to me. I'm like, oh my god.
And there was
like, I was sitting there watching it the whole time thinking that she said 34. So like you can imagine where my brain was at. I'm like, oh my god, that poor woman.
Well, and
like, dude, like the thing about that guy is like he's in his like late 40s, early 50s, some shit like that. And there is no way that is the first time he's done that. Like I'm curious as to what kind of investigation, if they're doing like a Huerman type thing with him to see what the deal is. Like you don't go from 0 to like that, so like right. I would not be surprised if he's got more victims. Nosy Rosie, can Bob tell us real quick what is next with Delphi? I've been out of the loop lately. Well, they've got a kind of a mysterious type of, he's 56 now, and he was 52 at the time. So, but Delphi, they have a status hearing on the 23rd of this month, which oddly, half of it is not open, or a portion of it. The first portion's not open to the public, which is really weird. Like a status call is like in a typical criminal case, we get retained, go in for the first day. If they get us for the bond call, we go in for the bond call, and then they set a first date, for arraignment, or, just to kind of get the case rolling. And then they typically set a status date like every 30 days. And that's just literally for the lawyers to tell the judge, hey, this is where we're at. This is what the state has tendered in discovery for us or to us. We're going to file X, Y, and Z motions. We'll set cutoff dates. It's just so the judge keeps the case on track. That's the entire point of status dates. We see it in all the cases, like Huerman, like all the cases that we follow, we see these 30-day dates. I mean, Adelson, when you kind of get closer to trial, they'll stretch them out a little bit, because as you get closer and closer to trial, they'll start making like final pretrial dates where, you're going to hear all the motions in limine and things like that. But like typically it's like every 30 days just to keep everybody on the up and up, make sure that things are going smoothly, make sure that this, thing is proceeding towards trial cleanly. And it's really, really, it's really weird that she's closing it. Like with all the shit with that judge in that case, just like not putting things on the docket, not having hearings, like it. And I was optimistic, because when I went out to Delphi for those 3 days of hearings, I'm like, oh, okay, she's running it like a normal trial. Like this is regular pretrial procedural stuff. She went 3 full days. We went to 6:30 one day. She went to 8:30, allowed the hearing to go to 8:30 p.m. like on the final day. So I'm like, all right, she's on board. Like this is going to be run like a normal thing. And now she pulls this. So like everybody's speculating like, oh, he's pleading out. And like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that's not what's happening. He's not pleading out. They're not kicking the lawyers off the case, because everybody speculates like that. That's the whole point and why you have transparency, because it alleviates people speculating as to what's going on, so not that it really matters, but it kind of does, it kind of does. It's like I was telling Allie, the blogger, the big Karen Reed blogger dude who got all the 36 charges for intimidating witnesses, like a lawyer that was like going on his channel has now decided to get admitted pro hoc vice to Massachusetts to help defend him in that case. I'm like, wow. I mean, it's like, it's this weird convergence of like social media and real life that's like really kind of starting to take place. Allison's yelling for me to shush. Why?
So if you're coming in late, we are just waiting here. They're going to be playing Little Woody's police interview. I'm not sure which one. He had like 5 of them. So we're just waiting because there was an issue with the court getting their stuff set up. So thanks for being here. If you haven't already, hit that like, please. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. Again, I want to thank everyone who went to the True Crime Network TCN sidebar and commented on the video I was on. My first. You've been on there a bunch of times, right, Bob? On the sidebar with Josh.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was cool, and I appreciate everyone going over there. Oh, got some movement. Maybe they're starting here.
Yeah, and Tiffany does a real good job setting that stuff up.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Which, by the way, Josh, if he hasn't already, is very close to 5K. So if you haven't already, give Josh and Courtroom Confidential a sub. They're like right on the real close to 5K. Let me see what he's at now.
Yeah, I talked to Josh. He's going to jump on for some of Tell Us.
Nice.
I loved having my other favorite, Josh Schiffer, on. He was great.
I saw.
I don't know if you caught
me. I did. He is great. He's awesome.
He's awesome, man. He's awesome. Super smart guy.
And he's in Atlanta, right? He like is.
He's in the ATL. Yeah. Yep. And if you don't follow Josh Schiffer's Twitter, he's got a great Twitter account. You should give him a follow.
Let me see what his handle is. Josh. So his.
Who I've been trying to get on a live, but he doesn't really like doing lives, is Kirk Nurmi, who was. Thank you so much, Leslie. We appreciate you.
Leslie, thank you so much. $10 Canadian.
CA.
Thanks for making life bearable, Jay and Bob.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate that so much. But I hit, Kirk he was Jodi Arias's lawyer. Like, he's the one who he gave up his law license.
Right.
Because she was lying on him, about shit. And he's like, you know what? Like, I'm I really respected what he did. It's like, he's like, I'm not going to have this woman just lying on me. So he writes a tell-all book knowing that he was going to break privilege, and that was going to be it, so he literally gave up his law career. And, I had a lot of respect for what he did. So I've been trying to get him on a live. He's like, I don't really like doing lives. I'm like, dude, you're on Court TV all the time. What are you talking about? That's live. I'm like, he's like, I'll do a podcast episode with you. I'm like, all right.
Hey, Amy, good to see you. Hey, Kai. Hey, Megan, Jan.
Oh, and if you don't know, y'all, we dropped our episode. Garcia is out on the regular feed. Jay, the more I think about this thing that Apple is doing with the Patreon, is like really pisses me off.
Well, dude,
so if they go through the iOS on the Patreon app, like if you have the Patreon app on your iPhone and then you subscribe and become a patron, they then take the 30%.
Right.
On top of what Patreon's way better than other platforms in terms of what they take from us, but still, I think it's going to be 40%, total. So,
yeah, that's why Apple is. People always are like they're like, why can't I on YouTube? Why can't I just like, if I'm on my phone, why can't? It's because if you have an iPhone, like it's like a pain in the ass to try to get a membership. It's because YouTube is owned by Google, and Apple doesn't want you to have it be. It's like a whole Google and Apple have a whole thing. So it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
they take more money. It's like, how much is enough for these fucking?
I don't know, man.
It's never enough.
Dude, seriously.
And then who gets? Then we get hit. The people who are providing free shit for that. They're it's it's irritating.
Yeah, I've spoken with Mark. I think now, like now he's going to be limited in terms of like what he can say, in terms of handling that case. So I mean, I don't think there's no kind of gag on that case. Meaning that you can't speak with the media for the attorneys, but you got to be very careful when you're out there. Allison is Exhibit A in terms of doing interviews, and that was kind of like before YouTube was massive with Garcia. But Allison, that's what got her booted from the case. Is she did a Skype video with the media, and she made a statement, and the prosecutors ran in, said that it was a no against the rules, that it was tainting the jury pool, and and they were dying to get rid of us. They were looking for any reason to get rid of us out in Omaha. So it was like boop, like because we were pro hoc. It's like temporary license. It's super easy. We're like, oh yeah, remember that temporary license we gave you to practice here? We're gonna take that back. See ya. Take care now. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
Hey, Laura.
All right, I'm going to make Joe Boo pull me off.
You're off.
Coffee time.
Thanks for being here again, everybody. I really appreciate it. Let me see what this says. Thank you so much, Ramble T26. Thank you for not giving up on your channel. I wish I could give more and will as I can, but you are a true inspiration for taking the chance.
Sir J, thank you for not giving up on your channel. I wish I could give more and will as I can, but you are a true inspiration for taking the chance to create this channel. Ty. Bob, Delphi awaits.
Thank you so much, Ramble. And any amount is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Hey, Kim Richards. Thanks all for being here, everybody. I really appreciate it, and all the support that you guys have sent to me since I announced that I'm looking for jobs has just been overwhelming. So I really, really appreciated all the comments, all the people sharing my tweet, reaching out about job opportunities. I very much appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I have updated my resume. I have sent it out some places, and we will see. I am doing my best so I can cover. My goal is to be able to cover the Donna Adelson trial before I go back to doing something full-time, but as you know, it takes time to find a job. If the right opportunity is there, if I get something, then I'll have to do like night streams for Donna after recaps if I can't do it live. But even if I am live streaming Donna's trial, if I don't have a job yet, I will probably be doing nighttime streams as well, recaps for an hour or so or something, because that is the case. That is the case that I want to follow. So, yeah. And if you don't know, I started my first episode of the rewatch of Charlie Adelson to prepare everyone for Donna's trial. Thanks everyone who came into that live, and everyone was also so supportive there. I'm going to do about hour to an hour, 15 hour, 30 minute long episodes. I did one yesterday. I'm probably going to try to do twice during the week, weeknights, and maybe 1 week end day. I'm thinking a Sunday afternoon because there's not much other content on there until football starts, obviously, as far as. So I'm going to do that. Oh, and then tomorrow should be regular. Good morning, Eileen. Thanks for being here. Hey, Meg. Hey, Nosy Rosie. Janine, Taryn, Travis, Tracy K, Amy, Julie, Lindsay. I used to say as good morning to as many people as I could. It gets difficult now. I have a lot more people than I used to have. Angela, EB, Book Dragon, Jen, Carrie 28, Sarah, Jan, Steve O, Wolfie Muse, Kim Richards, MJ, Catgrow, Sheila. Hey, Jonathan. Watch a Charlotte. For folks who are coming in late, they are playing Little Woo D's police interview. And they had some technical issues. So they're trying to fix the technical issues, and then they continue with his police interview. They have it on the screen. I don't think he could hear, and they were trying to figure out how to make it so he could hear. By the way, folks, I've been posting some vids on the old TikTok on some products I've gotten for free. One of them is this really cool armrest. Oh, we just got a $15 Cash App from Megan. Is this Meg E. Armand? I'm not sure. Love the space you create. Oh, no, it's Megan who's in the chat. Oh, Megan Easton. She's in the chat. $15 Cash App for love the space you created. Best of luck, Bose. Thank you so much, Megan. That was so kind for that Cash App. Thank you, Megan Easton. Oh, so I got this product that I made a video for. It's an armrest, guys. It's a portable armrest. If you don't have an armrest in your car, you put it in. But not only is it an armrest, you open it up. It's a little. Actually, I could show the video while we wait. Can I? Let me see. It doesn't have music in it. Nice. Because if you guys don't know this, so a lot of people on the internet have been pointing out that I'm a big time influencer. And this is me. No, don't want that one. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. So I'll show you where is it? Here it is. You have got to get one of these things. Hold on while we wait. Check this thing out, guys. Check this bad boy out. Like I said, I am a whore. If people send me free stuff, I'm going to promote it. Well, generally, but check this out. You have got to get one of these things. They are awesome. Check this armrest out. Check it out how it works. Now, normally I don't have an armrest. You see my dirty car, my basketball shorts, annoying, right? But with this, now I do. Just shove that in there. It's adjustable. You can move it up and down. It's pretty awesome. So you just put your arm there. But guess what? Not just an armrest. It is also a fast charger. So you just plug it in here, and boom, you put your phone in there, and boom, you have a fast charger. Also, you could just put any crap you have lying around. It's a nice little container here, and this thing is great. So if you don't have an armrest and you want a fast charger that's adjustable, goes right in there. You can use it while you're driving, obviously. I've been annoyed in this car that I don't have an armrest. Now I do have one. Not only an armrest, a charger, and a storage space. This thing is great. So if you're interested in that, I get a commission, obviously, if someone buys it. Or even if you just comment on the video to get it so more people see it. I got that thing. What else did I get? Whoops. You have got to get one of these things. I got this thing. You got to check out this awesome Look at me. I'm like Billy Mays. Fast charging charger I got here. First of all, it has LED Steve. Lights, and look at all these different options you can have. It's pretty awesome. That was totally a that's what she said. So you can switch between all these different colors and whatever you want to put. It's wireless, and then you just put your phone in like so. That's Babe's phone. It automatically closes, and then it starts charging. It's awesome. So then when you want to just take it off, boom, it takes right off. Wireless. This is not being plugged into anything. The thing itself is plugged in. You just put it on here, automatically closes for you, and boom, It's charging. When you want it off, a little button on the side. All right, so now I have 2 chargers in my car. 2 wireless. Then check out this flashlight I got, guys. I'm just killing time here. We're still waiting. Check out this flashlight I got. So I just got back from a trip in my car, and as you can see, it is super dark. And I dropped my charger, and I can't find it. I wish there was a way I could get some light real quick to find it. Oh, there is. Boom. Check out this flashlight. It's on my keys, keychain, pop it in, pop it out, and boom, there's the charger. This freaking keychain is so cool, this flashlight. It's pretty powerful, actually. I was surprised. Yeah, Steve, this is all free stuff. I am not doing on your keychain. I'm not doing ads if I don't get a free sample. I'm not paying for this shit to promote it. This thing is freaking awesome. It just goes right on your keychain. Look, I can even use it to see my dog. Oh, hi, Penny. Look at this keychain. Look at the power on this thing. This keychain it's amazing. Fits on my keys here. Boom, there are my dogs. And there they go. But seriously, though, look at the size of this thing. It's like smaller than my car keychain and my dirty Goodwill Rewards card. And then when you want to charge it, take it off the little hook there. Take off this little cap that's on. So I just got back from a trip in my car, and as you can, so that one. What else did I do? On the way is a light bulb that is also a it's a camera. So I'm excited for that one. If they're not sending me for free, I'm not doing it. And then the first one I did, which the only thing that people actually bought so far. Where is it? I don't even know where it is. Oh, this thing. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot fall asleep without a sound. They reach out to me, Steve. Because the voices in my head are usually doing this.
I'm an idiot! You're an idiot!
Now, the one I have is on my nightstand, and it looks like this. It's like 100 years old. It's great. I love it, but it's pretty big. And when I'm packing to go on a trip or something like that, this is me packing.
These have to come. Because
counting those,
hopefully I am super excited to talk about this new mini sound machine. Check this freaking thing out. It's amazing. It fits in your pocket. So yeah, the way to support me, if you have TikTok, I wish I should ask these people. I don't know. It's like a TikTok creators program. So if you see this video, I don't know about you. I don't know if you can. So I can't. I don't know if you can see a desktop version on your phone. If you pull it up on your phone, a link will be underneath the video. And if you buy it, I wish there was a way to do it outside TikTok. I guess there is a way if I do affiliate programs with other. Anyway, if you're on the app, let me just make sure we're not live. We're not. There's like a link, and if you buy it, they are awesome. I get a commission. Armrest out. Check out how it works. Now, normally this person was like, have an armrest in my car, which is kind of annoying. This person was like, I feel like it blocks access to the emergency brake, though. And I said, you have got to get one of these things. If mine breaks, I'm good. I'm speeding straight into the ocean, so I'm good. And, oh, Bob's back. Let me bring Bob back in here. Bob, I'm just sharing some of my merch. You're mute? Oh, I muted you. Hold on. Sorry.
There's Allie's got us on the big screen down there.
So yeah,
so you're rocking your wares. That
armrest.
That armrest thing looks cool.
Yeah, cool. This armrest out. Check it out. Again, I am not.
Oh yeah, that.
Now I am not doing this shit for free. So
where does that armrest like plug into? Like where does it lodge in between the center console and the seat?
Yeah, you just put it in between the console and the seat, and then your whatever your charger is, you just put the cord into it, and then you just put your phone on it and wirelessly charges.
That looks cool. Yeah, I have not taken advantage of the TikTok shopping program, man. So,
well, you said you don't get a lot of good stuff. I get like all this stuff. People have reached out to me. The mushroom coffee, the person hasn't sent it to me yet, but I'm getting these really cool. Let me see where I'm getting these really cool surveillance cameras that I'm so excited to. Once I get them, they ship them. And
did they email you?
No, it's messaged on my TikTok. But you got to be in like the TikTok creator reward program. Like it's a special program.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I am. Well, it's like the TikTok creator shop, right? Like,
I think that's it. Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I got invited to it. Like, I never. Let me see. Oh yeah, TikTok shop creator. Oh, manage samples with ease.
Yeah. So if you go to manage sample, well, there should be like opportunities, but I also get separate. I'm the Shaming
Oh
of Jay
yeah,
on TikTok.
I got the mushrooms, the rise, right?
Yes,
Rise.
you did. So put the okay for it. Put request,
Yeah.
but request a sample. You got to click on the store, request a sample. You got to put your info in, and if they approve you, you're good. I'm the Shaming of Jay everywhere. So that's what I am on the old TikTok.
What happens, Jay, if you hate that mushroom coffee?
I will lie and say it's delicious. Honestly, I thought about that. I'm like, I'll be honest. I'll be like, listen, if I put some, I'll make it so it tastes good. I'm like, I put some milk and
So
sugar
much
in here.
cream. Yeah, you're about to die, right? You need to go to Best Buy. But Allie left her charger, we think, in Florida. Did we tell you the deal that she got that client of ours?
No.
So we told you. I think we told you we had a client that was coming in from the Bahamas who owned a yacht that he would use for charters. Like, that was his business pre-COVID. And he was originally based out of the Turks and Caicos. And during COVID, they would not let him undock. Like, you could not, no charters, nobody could do shit. But he couldn't even take the boat off the dock. So he was losing everything. Like, that was his entire income stream. Like, he had no other way to make money. He was going to lose the boat, blah, 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 blah. So, like, one night he like absconds, he just leaves and like sails down to the Bahamas. So down there, and in the meantime, he's like tens of thousands of dollars in debt for, docking fees and like all this other shit. And he hadn't been able to pay the boat note. And, so ends up like getting in with like some Coke, like some big time Coke distributors, and mules 90 kilos from the Bahamas to Florida. And as he's coming into, I think it was Fort Lauderdale, it might have been Miami, one of the two. I think it was Lauderdale. As soon as he floats, like within like spitting distance of the shore, like ATF and the feds nab him. Like, so somebody had ratted him out. Like, somebody, like, that was, there's no way that anybody would have known other than somebody gave him up. So they search, they bring the dogs on 90 kilos of cocaine. And
if you could picture, like, if I'm looking at 90 kilos, is that like several bricks? Like, how much is like, I have no idea how much
90 bricks.
90 bricks. Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's a lot of bricks.
Like a kilo is those bricks that you see. That's a kilo. So that's 90 bricks that were like all, how like if you've ever watched any of those, like those shows where, the war on drug type shows, which are actually pretty cool in terms of some of the ways that, like, because the drug distributors, the drug dealers that are trying to get into the country come up with all kinds of ways to try to smuggle that shit into the country, like things that you would never even think of. So obviously, like, he had like a little boat that he would trail behind him. And that's where it was all packed into the, like, in between the fiberglass. So it wasn't like packed in like, somewhere easily accessible. So, they start dismantling, they find it all. So Allie ends up getting that guy. And it was his first time he'd ever been arrested. He had no criminal history whatsoever. Allie worked the feds for like a year on this guy, or 10 months, and ended up getting this guy on 90 kilos, 62 months in federal, and he'll probably end up doing 2.5 years on 90 kilos. Like, I was like, oh my God, that guy's going in for life type shit. It's that type of weight. So Allie, of course, just crushed it, did amazing work per usual in her real life job. That was an incredible that was incredible lawyering. And see, didn't go to trial. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the biggest part of the job is trying to work out, because there were extenuating circumstances. This guy had like a real thing going for 15 years, and COVID like cost him. He was going to lose everything. I mean, this was truly out of desperation, and I think that came across to the judge, because ultimately, whatever she works out with, the government, in terms of them saying, yeah, this is what we're going to ask for, and then they always seem to back off of what they promise that they're going to do when it comes to be the actual day. So ultimately, through the guidelines, the judge still has to give the final number. The judge is the one who really comes up with the sentence is going to be based on, both sides do sentencing memos, because federal sentencing is way different than state. Completely different beast. And so she just did amazing work. But that was a long way to say I think that she forgot her Mac charger down in Florida, which, those things they're not cheap. $150 or some shit, man.
For a Mac charger?
Yes.
Like
I looked. I was on the
rectangle
Apple store. Yes.
Wow, I had no idea they were that much.
Yes, dude. Well, because of course Apple doesn't sell the cord and the cube together. You have to buy each separately. So I think the cube is like, there's a $79 one, but it's the smaller one. I think, if I remember, hers was the bigger one. And then the cord's like $50.
Jeez.
Dude, what a racket.
So let me ask you, when you say she worked on the like, what is she doing? Is she contacting the feds with like case law, why this should be like a lesser sentence, like, and then they come back and give different case law and say this is why it should be more, and is that what the negotiation is?
Well, like in that particular case, when Allie got all of the discovery, she had a what she felt was a very strong motion to suppress, based on various factors that she told them. She's like, look, because like he was cooperating in terms of, first of all, in the federal system, cooperation and taking responsibility help. What? She's yelling at me.
She's like, you should be talking about this.
Well, no, like, I mean, this is just general shit. Has nothing specifically to do with anything. I can't even remember what the facts of the motion to suppress were, but it was strong. It was like, and she basically said, I could go in and I think I could win this motion to suppress, but in lieu of that, let's try to work it out, so.
Oh, by the way, I see people in the chat. Did you see, Bob, that Murdoch's cases, the Supreme Court is going to review it? They approved it?
Did. I tried to, like, Fit News had an article that Fit News seemed to be the first one to kind of like know what was going on. And I tried to tweet it yesterday, and it, like, I don't know if they pulled that article or some shit, but I couldn't tweet it because it was like, oh, we weren't able to put your tweet out. So it went into your drafts. You know how it does that?
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it.
It's funny you
Plus,
said that.
I had seen like some big people that are still heavy into Murdoch had tweeted, and it was like not really getting that much traction. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I saw. I mean, look, my position on that thing is, when it comes to juries, I mean, it's sacred. Like, anything that can even, like, has a whiff of impropriety, I think require, like, you can't start creating a situation where it's okay for clerks to do that kind of shit where they're like, I don't care what the result was. You can't have people start talking to jurors in the middle of trial, especially saying the shit that she was doing and saying. It's like, so, I mean, it's going to be the same result. It's like, it's like, and how much time did he plead out to on the financial crimes? I mean, like, this dude's never getting out of prison. Right. You know, it's like just wasting a bunch of taxpayers' money for a bunch of shit that's not going to matter. But for me, from the law side of it, I'm like, all right, well, I think it's important. I'm glad that and we're talking about the South Carolina Supreme Court, not the United States Supreme Court. But I mean, they could bring it up to the federal level eventually, you know, if they so choose. Like if the Supreme Court of South Carolina is like, nah, we agree. We agree with the trial court, because ultimately, I think what they did is they asked the appellate court to just stay it so that they could go right up to the Supreme Court. Is kind of the way I was reading it, but like I didn't really, like, we were getting ready to go live when I saw that thing, or we were on a short break or some shit.
Well, yeah. So Jen Wood from Fitz News, she DM'd me and she's like, "You may have to get a leave of absence from your new job if Murdoch gets a new trial." I'm like, "Yeah, I want to cover that," because I didn't cover. I mean, I tweeted this first one. I didn't live stream it, and I said, "Do you think they're really going to give him a new trial?" And she said, "With this case, anything could happen, but I believe the case law heavily favors it." I mean, that's going to be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, dude, anything that like our most sacred thing in terms of trials is the jury. Like, you can see how, like, that's why we stand up every time they come in. That's why we treat them with the utmost respect. And that's everybody that's in the system, you know, the judges, the lawyers, because they're the thing, right? And you can't have anything that even hints of impropriety. It's like you can't, like, if you create that slippery slope to where, because again, everything's precedent, right? Like, I mean, if you set precedent that's bad precedent and says, okay, well, you know, in the Murdoch case, which everybody knows, like high profile case, they allowed for this, you know, they said that was okay, you know, that as long as it doesn't affect the end result of what the jurors, you know, I'm like, how can you, like, you have to be able to go back in a time machine, like to be able to go into somebody's mindset at the moment that they're hearing something. Like, that's not how the human mind works. So, you know, the easiest way to avoid all that, you don't talk to the jurors. You avoid them like the plague. Like, Allie and I, like, in the middle of, you know, trials, if like we're going out we're on lunch break, right? And we're going out and there's only X amount of restaurants in the area, and we go in and like Allie be like, oh my God, I think that's like 2 of the jurors. We don't go into that restaurant. We go to a different restaurant because we don't even want to be in the same restaurant, because if somebody will say, oh yeah, I saw the lawyers in the same restaurant with the jurors. Like, there was a case where that came up recently. What was it? I can't remember where.
It was.
It might have been. It was Reed.
No,
right,
no.
Karen Reed.
No. It was Benefield, when they had to poll in the jurors and ask each of them, because a reporter said that they saw someone like watching the TV and it was on the TV.
Exactly, and that there was either a witness in there with the jurors or something. There was something that was like, you just can't mess with the jurors. You just leave them be. You don't want to influence them in any way. You don't want it to look like you're trying to influence them. Like, it's just, you know, ultimately, like, so, like, from that sense, I'd like to see him get the new trial just to establish that is a hard line rule that cannot be broken ever under any circumstances. You know, no matter what, like, boy, what is going on with the tech here? Like, this is like Bill Dorsch level. I can't get on a live. He's calling me on Viber. Bill always calls me on Viber. I'm like, man, like, I don't know, like, Viber's another. It's kind of like a WhatsApp, except like it's the only one Bill used. I'm like, Bill, can we use like Signal or WhatsApp, because Viber sucks. It's like he'll have tried to call me like 15 times over like a 2-week period, and I never get notifications. Even when I have notifications on, it doesn't ring.
Can he just use like
it's like
Skype or something? He can't use Skype?
Yeah, Leslie, the reason I do that is because I read the chat. So, like, if I'm in the middle of speaking about something and I see something that reminds me of something else, then I'm like, squirrel, you know. It's almost like I'm ADD, but I'm not. It's weird. Yeah.
So, by the way, Bob, pretty, I mean, not hilarious, but so not only does she fucking tamper with the jury, she writes a fucking book about it. Like, how insane Oh yeah, so I make eye contact with this juror, and we knew on the when they did the Moselvis. I mean, just complete insanity,
dude. I mean, truly, like, and to be honestly, going into that, I thought that when we got that judge who was very, very qualified. Like when they brought in that judge, when Newman recused himself from sitting on that, and she came in, and I'm like, all right, she's gonna give this thing like the honest look, like she's got no horse in the race here. Like she's gonna, and I really thought that they had enough to get that thing. Like that book, that book concept alone was enough for me. I'm like, that was absurd. She was injecting herself into the case in a way that was completely inappropriate for the elected, like, circuit clerk, man. It's like, no, that is not what you do. I mean, it was, and she took a huge hit on that. No, I mean,
she resigned. She
I
left.
mean, it ruined her career.
Rightfully so. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Exactly. Show some restraint. I mean, you could have written your tell-all after. Did you see the clips from Sarah Boone questioning the deputy on the stand during a hearing? No.
I try to find her hearing. I looked up Sarah Boone hearing, and I don't see.
Oh, let's see if we can pull it up.
I know. I tried. If anyone has a link, if anyone is
Spring, let us know. Throw the if you can, throw the link in the chat, or tell us what channel where you saw that. We'll try to pull it up. Of course, as soon as we find it, they'll come live here with Woo Day.
Exactly.
Woody.
Woody.
I figured out how to do it. If you notice, I tweeted it yesterday. I did Woo -dy. Like, I think that's an easier way to remember Woody.
Oh, it is until 1:30. Okay, thank you.
Oh, wait. What's at 1:30?
Are we talking about the trial? Or are we talking about Sarah Boone? Oh, it's on Court TV. Let me see. Let me see if.
Now, normally I don't have an armrest in my car.
Hey, there's Jay hawking the wares.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, you really had me wanting to buy one of those armrests. I'm gonna tell you flat out, had me sold, sucker.
Well, if you do it from TikTok. Yeah. All right. So
sure. I'll buy it from your creator store. Okay?
This was the case that I was gonna cover, and I'm almost glad I didn't, because the audio was awful in this other case. That
is that the one? So, like, after you talked about it, I kind of caught like the ass end of what you were saying. It was about that. Like, I watched some of the interviews, and I watched some of like the body worn cam. So the one that Jay is talking about, he was going to cover that. It was another Florida case where this, and apparently these neighbors have been beefing for years, like it's like something that's been brewing for a long time. And the neighbor from across the way, like, she's got kids, and I think that her kids bugged the shit out of this older gal. And like, apparently they were trying to, like, it sounded like they left an iPad somewhere and they were trying to recover it. And that, the woman like starts screaming at the kids, to get off of her property and whatever. So mom comes over, like probably Allison would end up doing if somebody was like popping off on one of our kids, and she's pounding on the door. Like, you son of a bitch, you're not going to yell at my kid. And the woman ends up shooting the woman through her door, through her locked front door, and kills her, like, in front of the kids. So I think that one's a foregone conclusion. That's definitely no stand your ground there.
Yeah.
She was in no danger. Like, this woman was not going to bust through her dead bolted door. So.
And I know the family's upset because they're like, this is murder, because it's only a manslaughter charge.
Totally. Like that's what Allie and I were saying. I think Allie was watching it. I'm like, how is this manslaughter? They're calling it like heat of the moment, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, because like, in terms of the requisite intent and like premeditation, that can take place in seconds. Like people think of premeditation as like hatching plans and thinking about, how I'm going to do this for an extended period of time. No, they like the courts and the cases have come to the conclusion that you can form, a premeditation within seconds,
So Kim sent me TikToks. Let me see what she sent me. Hello, Spring.
TikTok.
All right, so I guess maybe someone recorded it. Thank you, Kim. Let's see what we got here while we wait. All right, this is. Let me just make sure this is not back to that. Nope, this is back to this. It's remarkable to me that there are no news outlets that want to cover Sarah Boone's hearing. It's insane.
Right. Thank you.
Here we go. Thank you, Kim.
Ma'am, do you have any questions?
Here's Sarah Boone questioning.
Oh, cool. Good job, J-Bo.
Kim, it's Kim. Thank you, Kim.
In your input,
thanks, Kimbo.
You've done on me the domestic
Can we make it bigger?
Case,
or is this TikTok? So we can't.
First of all, that's what she said, and secondly, no, it's TikTok. So
the felony with
hey, can I get the
yes,
what do they call that?
Charged with that.
There's a word.
Also,
there's a word for it.
3 hearings is it that I supposedly missed on what dates?
I have those here.
I've never missed a court date. In the almost 5 years that I've been here,
they still have her sitting in
I've
the.
Never argued. I've never hesitated.
This is from Friday. There was a hearing on. Was this rim shot?
Rim shot. Thanks, Stu.
Objection, ma'am. You have to ask one fact per question.
Okay.
I can't even hear what the hell she's saying. Why do they have her sitting in the juror's box instead of at the table?
Yeah, it's this is an old one. I didn't even know there was an old one, so thank you for sending this. It's only coming out of one speaker on this audio, so that's why.
When we streamed that hearing, and
on September 15th,
it was really hard to hear her.
Yeah, they don't have her mic'd.
That was one of the times you refused to attend.
Julie said she messaged me. Let me see.
Julie said she DM'd you on X the full Friday hearing.
Is this one that I didn't cover? I thought
we didn't cover this. Like I wasn't aware that she had another hearing.
Me either. All right, so let's do it. While we wait here for. Thank you, Julie. So let's see here.
Ma'am, do you have any questions for?
I don't.
Madam Clerk.
What the hell?
Dave Ketcher on behalf of the state. William J. for the state. Ma'am, good morning. Can you raise your right hand? Madam Clerk will swear you in.
Please swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth,
All right, ma'am, good morning, rather. Could you state your full name and date of birth for the record for me?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-7-7.
Okay, we...
Oh my God, this audio is.
The court had entered a scheduling order and notice of hearings. Ma'am, that was sent to you by way of mail. Did you receive that?
I did yesterday.
Okay, all right. I know that you had brought up concerns regarding mailing, and I just wanted to go through the historics with regard to the mailing. As you may recall, back on June 28th, we had a hearing where I granted Ms. Cushman's motion to withdraw and addressed your forfeiture, alternatively a waiver to counsel. You were hand-delivered a copy of...
So do you guys want to watch the whole thing, or you just want to watch the questioning of this witness?
I vote just the questioning, because the sound is so annoying.
We had a hearing, and an order was entered, and a notice of hearing was set. That order was hand-delivered.
Why are they swearing her in? It's confusing to me.
Good question.
Like what? Like I've never. Like why did they swear her in? She's her own counsel. So not a witness. Weird.
Gavin Alton, Gavin, LLWTAN.
All right, thank you. State, you may proceed.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And what is it that you do for a living that you have come to that conclusion?
Based on her current...
I do.
Go ahead.
First off, in your, in quotes, research that you've done on me, the domestic violence case that I was charged with, the felony with strangulation, was dropped. I don't know if you were aware of that in your research. Yes, so I was never charged with that.
I can't hear a word she's
also,
saying.
what-
Can you hear her? Can you guys hear her?
It's because it's only coming out of one speaker. So I don't know if can you guys hear her?
I can't hear a
3
word.
hearings is it that I supposedly missed on what dates?
I could hear the state and the witness because they have mics.
I've never missed a court date. In the almost 5 years that I've been here, I've never argued. I've never.
You guys can hear
hesitated.
her?
Objects to the form of the question, Your Honor.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Ma'am, you have to ask one fact per question.
Okay.
I am prepared to give her the date.
Let me see if I mute my mic, if it helps.
On September 15, 2023, that was one of the times you refused to
All right, I'm going to mute maybe.
attend. October 16, 2023, and January 28, 2021.
And do you know what those were specifically for?
For court attendance, wherever you were scheduled for that day.
For a hearing or pretrial or withdrawal?
I don't know. This is just information from the jail where the corrections officer said you refused to attend your hearings.
So is that on record that I have supposedly refused these 3 dates to appear in court?
At the jail, yes.
Who is your contact, please? I've never missed a date.
Bob, you can't hear anything? Well, first of all, you're muted, so if you respond.
Through Ecamm, I cannot hear jack shit, but when I'm watching it on my phone, I can hear it perfectly. It's so weird.
That is weird.
It's bizarre. It's like I have my computer volume cranked and I'm not hearing it at all. It's weird. But like I find when I have my phone, so I muted my mic.
Okay, I gotcha. All right.
This is the database that I got this information from.
Do you know when it was last updated?
I do not.
Okay, so do you know how I have never missed a court date to the present date? I don't know specifically what these 3 dates are for. In order for me to have supposedly denied going, do you know the name of the officers for each one? You do?
Yes.
Please.
For the September 15, 2023, it is Corrections Officer Portia Hines.
Could you spell her last name, please?
Hines.
And you said the date was 9/15/23?
Correct.
Okay.
And if you would like, I can read her comments in her report.
Sure.
At approximately midnight, I informed inmate Boone, Sarah, that she was scheduled to appear in court today. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I advised her that her absence could result in being held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone stated she understood and continued in her decision to refuse. Corporal L. Cameron was notified. This report is being generated for informational purposes.
But it doesn't say what it was that I supposedly refused.
To attend court. It doesn't say specifically what your hearing is for.
Okay.
Second one, it'll be Officer Christy Green.
And what is this date for?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Which date is it that you're referencing?
That's going to be October 16, 2023.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the name?
Green, Greene.
And what was the first initial, please?
K.
Greene.
Yes.
10/16/23.
Yes.
Okay.
And the third one is January 28, 2021. And the officer is Jasmine Scribner. Scribner.
What are the comments, please, for Green?
At approximately 0300 hours, I advised inmate Boone, Sarah, that she was on the schedule to attend downtown court. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I informed inmate Boone that if she fails to attend, she could be held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone acknowledged she understood and continued with the decision to refuse to attend court. Corporal Ward at the Booking and Release Center, transport officer, was notified. All proper notations were made in the IMS.
Okay. And January 28?
Approximately 0334 hours.
Yep. Issue that really should have been thought about and raised before now. It is what it is. So let's get Mr. Copeland back on the stand and get the jury out.
All right, we're back, folks. I'll share that link if anyone wants to check it out. Thank you both, Kim and Julie, for sending this out. If you want to check this out, the link is here.
Go ahead and get the jury out. Mr. Copeland, I think we've got a solution so that you'll be able to hear the video while it's playing. You can just put those headphones on.
Remind me after the video to put back up the I don't recall counter, because there's not going to be any I don't recall when he's just watching the video. I'll put it back up. Oh yeah, away we go. Good call.
Jay, you never know. He could still say I don't recall, like listening to the video. He's like, oh, I don't recall saying that shit. I don't like just be talking to himself.
That's true.
As he's listening to the video. I mean, it could happen.
That's true.
I talk to myself out loud all the time, dude. If people were observing from afar, they'd think I was insane.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. I cannot even imagine how many times y'all have already been told that over the course of this trial. As with so much with modern life, technology makes things easier for us sometimes, but it also gives us some headaches sometimes. But I think we're ready to go now. So, Ms. Hilden, you can go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I noticed? We got 330 in the chat, but only 186 likes. Can you guys do us a favor and just hit that like button real quick? Super quick.
Greatly appreciated.
Massively appreciated.
You're gonna talk. Then I'm gonna talk to his family. Okay? I'm gonna let his family put it out. But please, Kim, one thing at a time. Okay, Kim? One thing at a time. Alright? I know, man. It's frustrating. You got to stop. The brother gonna, I don't know what I did to this man, bro. I've been face to face with him, bro. I shook his hand like he's over it, bro. He's not used no more, bro. Do you feel what I'm saying? Because that's why you're going to sit down and you're going to tell me what's going on between you and him. And then we'll go from there. Okay? What's going to happen after the date? What you mean? When I go here, okay. So, I'm going to take care of that place. Like I said, get the family, his family, to tell them to leave you alone. If they ain't got no proof showing that you did anything, they need to leave you the fuck alone. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. All right.
Dude, does that cop have like the most intense shine on
January 10th, 2015?
He buffs that thing. He has like a
wow. Speaking of which, called Woo, the haired Woo.
I'm here with Mr. Kenneth Copeland.
Hey, Jordan.
And Mr. Copeland, give me the date of birth, sir. July 25th, 1991. July 25th, 1991. Yes. Okay. You got the middle name, Mr. Copeland? Is Xavier. This is a reference to the homicide investigation of victim name of Donovan Thomas. It happened at 330 McDaniel Street, Southwest, City of Atlanta, Fulton County, State of Georgia, on January 9th, 2015, with another police case number 15010 2106. When you're ready, Mr. Copeland, tell me exactly what you know dealing with this situation. Like now, we know everything. Tell me everything. What made people want to pull you into this situation that happened? Okay. Me and Kale. You know what I'm saying? Me and him, we had a problem in the club. Is that him? No, this is nothing. Okay. All right. Kale, they say this the little brother, but I thought they just changed it, but they say they real brothers. Kale. K-E-L. K-E-L. Kale. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Little brother of that. Yes. Who you identified from a picture, which is Donovan Thomas. Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead. Me and him got into it in the club push. What day was that? It's just like it was like a lot. Okay. So, but 2 months, 3 months, a year, how about? Yeah, about I'm saying no longer than 4 months. 4 months. So every time y'all be at Club Crucial, y'all see each other, y'all get into it. We don't even fight, we don't do none of that. The only time I played was the last time. Okay, what was that? Monday, it just passed. Monday. Okay, go ahead. So, all the time we get into that club, it don't mean that. They shoot birds at us, we shoot back at them. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, we go outside. Don't run on that, don't nobody fight, don't nobody do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just go outside. We leave. This every time we got to in the club. But last Monday, we were in the club. But this case came. It was Monday. I think it was Sunday before the Monday. But if it wasn't this Sunday, it was the Sunday before that week. Me and Kel, I seen Kel outside. So I'm like, hey Kel, how did you? So as me and Kel standing right there, we talking. We talking about everything we gotta get to each other. So as we talk, we like, it's over with. They challenging the cover. So we like, it's over with, we ain't beefing no more. So Kel like, right, but he wanna talk to Thug and see what Thug has to do with it. So like, man, Thug ain't standing there jump up, you know what I'm saying? He ain't into this. So he like, how you wanna talk? So him and Thug talk. Whatever said there, I don't know. Next thing you know, Monday come, I'm in Kush. As I go to Kush, I pull out my money. I'm gonna stay, I'm flashing my money to all the girls standing around. I'm flashing money. So I get on the stage, I'm flashing money. Kel, and this whole walk up on me. So I look at her, he's like, what's up, bro? I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. And he ain't saying that. So he just looked at me. So I'm still flashing money. I'm laughing, I'm playing with everybody. So he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, Thug still want me to pay for his window. Like, I guess so, bro. But he in the club. Like, go talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So Kel, like, he took his necklace. He put his necklace out. So I look at him. I put money in my pocket. So I put money in my pocket. I walk out. You know, I walk over here. I look at him. So he turned around. He tells somebody from the ear. So I walk towards the kitchen. When I walk towards the kitchen, all of them walks behind me. I was by myself. So when I get to the kitchen, I see everybody walk behind me. I try to turn around and go back to the stage. Kel punched me in the back of the head. So he punched me in the back of the head. They pushed me to the ground. He tried to go in my pocket and get my money. But as I hold on to my money, the other guy punched me all in the face. But I didn't care. I was holding on to the money. So as they punched me, I get out of it. I run. So they say everybody, some more guys, they knew me. They can't help. So they fight. He goes out the club. We got outside the club. Red J, right? I'm like, But they're like, what's up, man? But how did they jump on me like that, bro? Y'all try to take my money. So DJ? Yeah. The rapper DJ? The rapper. So I'm like, yeah. So legit, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So one of my buddies had fought with a J. So after they fought with a J, we leave. We leave the club. Then they have what day is? Today, Saturday, yesterday, Friday. They have a meeting. The meeting, like it was a blood meeting, and the meeting was about me and Thug. You and Thug. Me and Young Thug. But the whole time, I'm telling them like, what Thug got to do with this, bro? Young Thug was just talking. Young Thug, the rapper. I'm like, what he got to do with this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to him. Like, he with you. I'm like, bro, it ain't no beef, bro. Like, I ain't staying y'all niggas down there. You feel me? Don't pay me no attention. I'll pay y'all no attention. Nah, listen, man. But there was a guy that was just me. Said, so with the guy down the road, Mo, he's supposed to say, kill me and Young Thug. So I asked, I got 10 minutes on my phone. I text my phone like, I ain't, bro. Y'all gonna kill me and Thug? And I said, let's say, And he like, bro, what you talking about? Like, ain't that like they said? So another guy talking like, ain't that like they said? I'm like, okay, they just lying. He like, yeah. So next thing you know, okay, they after that, he said, so my other buddy like, man, they really don't sound like they ain't let it. It ain't no more beef. They gonna try to get some money. I'm like, bro, look, bro, I talked to Kill, bro. I talked to him one time, I talked to him again. I ain't standing with Jeffery, so they ain't taking money. They don't mean that. So he like, alright, I'm gonna try to get it over him. And he like, try to one time. I'm like, well, it ain't about me. So I'm still telling like, what's up? Why you gotta get me? What have I done to him? I ain't never talked to that girlfriend. I never did anything to him. My wife gave me. Next thing you know, it's a gambling house. I used to be it. And we used to gamble now. It's over there in Lakewood. They go to stand on top of the roof and shoot inside. So they stand on the roof shooting inside the building. And then they leave. So they tell everybody the car tell her what happened. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? So because that's what we know, I go gamble right there. So next thing you know, no, nobody seen that, nobody seen that. So the day I was in the house sleeping now last night, like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was with Doug, we was at DJ Drum Studio. He was doing the song. So we left the studio. I went to my girl yesterday Saturday. I was a DJ. The day Saturday, like the sun just when I was Saturday. The day Sunday, like yesterday Sunday. Friday, like late, like okay, Saturday morning. I went to my girl's house. It was like 5, 6 o'clock. So I was tired, so I went down. Me and her was there, laying down. So I stayed there. I was asleep. Honestly, to God, I was asleep the whole time. So she could go meet her dad and go. She get her car. She go to the mom or something. So I stayed there the whole time. I didn't go nowhere. I sleep. I wake up. I look. She still ain't got that. I called. That's what she. She somewhere with her dad somewhere. I'm like, dang, you must have got over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you forgot I was here. And she like, nah, you sleep. This and that and that. She like, where you at? I'm there right there. So my brother called me. Say like, you want to come? I'm like, yeah, bro.
Because I'm going to fuck with you, buddy.
Like, okay.
We're going to be buddies. We're going to be pals. We're going to...
Like, what you said? So she like, how you gonna like those? So I'm like, I just jump over the balcony.
Thank you so much, Post-Punk Mama, member for 5 months. Thank you so much.
OG.
You just lock the balcony when you come to the house. So she like, okay. But it was somebody that stayed in the room right there where she stayed. When I jumped the balcony, he was walking down the steps, so he seen me jump the balcony. You know what I'm saying? So I got up my door. I went to his house and changed clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I went to change clothes.
Take over to your brother's house?
Yes. I changed clothes at his house. But what time was that? It's like the beginning of 7 o'clock. The clothes I had on to now, time on the floor. I got the car. I had rolled to the Canberra. The girl said, gave me this. The girl Moochie. She gave me this and some peroxide. I put it on my mouth. And I went to the green store. I stopped right up like 5 or 10 minutes. I was on the rig. I got in in town to Rick. I had called D. Like, where you at? So he's like, you on Cleveland. I'm like, I'm to pull up. So I ride on Cleveland. When I get right up by McDonald's on Cleveland, the D like, but they say, nothing, they got killed, bro. I'm for real, bro. But I'm really just thinking you just talking. Like, for real, bro. Like, yeah, so I'm like, dang. So I like, what happened? He like, well, he just kind of said it. So I'm like, damn, bro, he gonna say I did this first time. I'm like, damn, he gonna say I did, bro. He like, shit. Before no, you ain't do it. So I'm like, shit, who he? He like, he don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. So as I leave down, Moto coming like, well, you know, they folks might me and him shot nut, Moto. They like, they said me and him did. You got know for Moto? Yeah, Moonk. T-N-O-O-K, I think. So he was like, they said phone number for him.
So were you and him riding around earlier today?
Nah, I didn't come out till like, I'm gonna say, I came out here at 7, I'm putting that way. I came out here at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Now, when he FaceTimed me, he told me, so I'm like, damn, then he like, they said me and him did.
Yeah.
So first I did, I confirmed like this, bro. They saying I did it, bro. I need to go out to the headquarters or something. Like, we don't them call you. Now, I told everybody I didn't have anything to do with it, so I called. I'm trying to get best advice I can.
So is everyone struggling to this audio? I know this audio
brutal.
So my question, I guess, is: do you want to soldier on with this audio that we can't hear well, or go to the Sarah Boone hearing where, because this is tough. This is what do you guys think? Let me know.
I was under the impression that she said they were only going to play 12 minutes of this. Like I thought that was what the whole discussion was, because she said the state had said that they played this entire video back in June. So I'm under the impression that they're not going to be.
Oh, I thought it was the 12.
I could be wrong.
I thought the 12 minutes was because they're going to play a video with his girlfriend or something, and there's 12 minutes that she is in it, and they're going to skip that.
Maybe.
Let me do a poll. Let me see what people say.
And know they like, I can't girl mama. I was talking to her before they shot her house, and her was talking on the phone. I'm be getting on right now. 404. $662 $8935.
Are we going to get that number?
Yes, Monto.
Yeah, that's when we drop you off.
Give Boone a call.
I'm texting Moon to him right now. Sorry.
The new Chevy.
Blue or gray? Which color is it?
It looked like it's like a light gray. I mean, like a light. It's a color probably like gray blue.
Like gray.
It's a Malibu. It's an Impala, the new kind.
Is it Impala or Malibu?
It's a Chevy. It might be an Impala. It's the new. It's 2015. It's a rental car.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So he they kind of said, man, I'm dead. So I'm telling him but I'm going out here. You know what I'm saying?
We're not going to make a decision until we hit at least 50% of the vote. 306 in the chat. We want to see 150 votes. Free to vote.
I'm asking everybody, should I go down there, bro? Because I didn't do it. They come scan me, they do everything. I didn't do it. They check my phone record, my vote economy, they show you where I was, they show you every car that I talked first, they show you where I was now. I didn't do it. I never had a problem with nothing. Me and nothing ain't never had two words to each other. Me and nothing was always okay. You know what I'm saying? The only person I had a problem with was Kev. I don't really be with him. When we see each other, they jump me up. When they be with him, they don't jump me up. Boy, every time, but me and him, we just look at each other. But the last time, we just jump each other up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, what's up, bro? Like, let it go. You like, it ain't no beat. Then what you tell me? But y'all jump on me and take the money, try to take the money from me, but I ain't let the money go. But the club on Derek, he seen it on the video. He see I ain't do nothing. I ain't starting. He see me walk around the club flashing money. He seen that. I talked to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't
what's going on with Kim, man? Like, Wednesday night, I just told the girl, mom, like, you need to call the police and have them meet you. Go to your house, cause when me and him was talking to you, like, he know where she stayed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm brother trip, brother. You know what I'm saying? Cause me and him been on each other. You know what I'm saying? But he don't join this game. And now he just think he big bad wolf. But the whole time I'm telling him, like, bro, it ain't that serious, bro. Which game is Cal join? 9 Deuce, Inglewood, ABG. That's Bloody J's group, baby. Did you know Gangster? You know Gangster? You know. Oh, you said, is he a gangster? No, I said, do you know his partner, Gangster? Oh, no. Bloody J Gangster. They said Bloody J played him. Short, stocky, mustache, beard. Yeah. But the whole time I've been telling, like, even when they did that, I wanted to call his phone, but I called the J phone, but he got his phone cut off. Like, he turned it off. Hey, I was trying to tell him, but I didn't do it, bro. That's where he got it off. That's okay. I'm like, bro, but he ain't answer. I think calling the other person I know, but I was like, man, ain't no use, but they have a child for how they know what they know my sister house. She ain't answer the phone now, trying to tell her to be out. She ain't answer. They know my sister stay like, who will make first? When those blowed up, those started letting me hang and put me out in songs and videos. It just seemed like they got jealous, man. Honestly, bro, I never did nothing to kill, bro. I ain't lying, none of that. Four 518 9892. So, you reached out to your brother earlier Saturday about you need to get out the house or get his car or whatever. Okay. And y'all pretty much to catch up until around 7. That's when you and your brother to catch up to around 7, right? Your brother gave you keys to the car. Yeah. Okay, I was in the house. Okay. I was at Deshaun. Your girlfriend's house? Or yeah, I was at Deshaun house. Man, like, we stayed together until she put me up on Monterey Avenue. Her room, yeah. So, when I woke up, I see she went back and it was dog. I called her like, I tell you what time I called. I called her. She like, oh, this and that. I'm like, man, you must have got on the here. And she left because her dad was going to get her a car, right? Yeah, she left early. I'll tell you exactly what time I called her, right? Who's Walter Maddox? I called her at 6:20. Called her at 6:20. Yep. That's the first time I called her. It was 6:20. And then after I called her, I called my brother, and it was at 6:28. No, my brother called me at 6:28. Ain't come call. Who's Walter Lee Maddox? Who? Who's Walter Maddox? No name? Did y'all ever rent or own an Infinity? Infinity. Y'all ever rent one of those cars before? Have you ever been stopped in an Infinity before? Yeah. Had an accident in an Infinity? No. A maximum? Have I ever had a cover again? No. Okay. Let me think. This year? Anytime. I had a coverage in the Pontiac. That was a couple years ago. I ain't had no coverage. I ain't had no red sleep. I ain't have none of it. What kind of car your brother drive? Who was that in there? A white Dodge Charge. This truck car he gave me. Your brother got 2 cars? Nah, he Jerry got a car, and the car he got the Dodge Charge. Okay. Then she got the little ugly little Melody. Like a 19 something. 2014 Dodge Charger? Yeah. is it? Great. I'll baptize on each side. Okay. Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray? A gray Infinity Q45 before? A truck? No. A cup? Yeah. Like I know of. I actually brother, maybe his car. A red car he had rented or something like that. That's cool. That's cool. I'm saying, no gray Infinity. So, we never had a problem with that. Never in life. Okay. Never cool. Okay. We just had a problem with rubber cable. Yes. Describe cable to me. Show you a picture. Is he tall? No, he's about this, like, kind of stuff. Okay. Let me see a picture of him. You got one. See what's more? They dropped you off? Yeah.
Oh, please don't.
I think the court just updated their windows.
It's a city color. Grayish blue. This the Camaro right there. This the way it goes out at night. Yeah. Who car is that? I think it might be his car. Okay, who's that tonight? Who's that? Who's that? His name is Dave. He be with nothing yet. Okay. So little Dave know where your girl lives. Like she stays in the neighborhood. They from somewhere. She stays in the neighborhood. It look like he took care of the page. I know somebody else who got one. What's his name? What's his name, man? That was 12. ABG 12.
Dude, that dude's dome is the shiniest shit I've ever seen. It's insane. He's got like Murphy's wood oil or whatever the hell that shit's called. Or spray some like Pledge on there.
I wonder, do we know which detective this is? Because we've heard the names. I forget their names. I wonder which detective this is. The one that I wonder if this is the detective he said has a squirrel brain.
Squirrel brain. What was that guy's name? Thorpe or
Thor? I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Seen the video right here, but it's video on Blood J page, but they keep stopping. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna go to H and B. See. They had painted right here. They pride. Okay.
Seems like we did lose Allie. I don't know what she's doing down there. I'm gonna yell down.
Describe. That's it right there. It ain't gonna go. Okay, why you doing that describe killed? We're going to that page.
I feel like we lost her to Wordle.
This is that first page we got killed right. I'm going to his page and cause you full foundation, right?
Playing Wordle.
Wordle.
So do you think he's coming off like he's being honest there, or if he?
Well, I think his thing is going to be like everything I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, of course he wants to come off as legit with the cops.
Keep out my code. Kind of stop. And he always will BG hoodie. Like, and if it's like people around here stand up like this. This how it be. But you gonna have BG hood on. Like the whole lot of nigga with. Okay, his name is Cal. Is it Calvin? Cal. Like, I don't know his real name, but he kind of says Shell Cal. So, you know it's K-L. Okay. See, he's going to pop real quick. Nah, he ain't going to cut on him. I'll tell you about Charlie, man.
No. You can lean in and kiss me.
I don't want.
What?
I want to go on the screen.
Good ball.
I'll tell you, it's about 5 minutes. Come back on.
Ooh, 111 world kitty. What happened? How'd that happen?
What happened?
100.
Oh, bro.
Kitty lost her world 111.
You got to fight with Cal.
Play every day. It keeps your streak alive.
Honestly, I get named everything that happens. Like, my name comes up in everything. Everything. Like, even my from that first time name ever come up in merge, so I didn't know what to do. You know, so you and Wilton,
Wow.
y'all wasn't together until later on today.
Allie just sent like the Mike Jordan back from his 1-year retirement who were fast message. Most famous fact of all time.
Most famous what?
I'm telling him, like, what should we do? So yeah, like, I told him, he was like, bring me down here, you know what I'm saying? He came, brought me right here. Like, you gonna come in? He's like, I wait around, call me. Okay. Well, this on you then. Okay. Give me a minute, right back, okay? But, okay, I see you on this one, but that's great. I did this. What would do, bro? I mean,
Totally not the 12-minute video.
I'm gonna talk to Nuts Mother. And Kelly.
So apparently, I'm checking Thugger Daily, and this video is the first video they are playing is the day after Nuts' murder when Woody came into the police station to clear his name. That's what this is.
Right. I'm gonna let her know what the deal is. Okay. All right. So we'll take it from there. Okay. They continue to do, and you see who it is. Okay. Call. If you see them run around the neighborhood and you know what they're about to do, call. Because there's going to be an alert out for this. Okay? I'm telling you, like right now, the only reason I'm scared because I didn't do it, and I feel, you know what I'm saying, that has to be on my time. All you do is extend to his brother to extend to them. And I'm able to talk to Cal, I let him know the same thing. If his mother go ahead, maybe get me in contact with Cal. I'll talk to him and see if that is him and his crew doing that. It is. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. It's him. Let me ask you this, to be honest. Do you believe
Allie tweeted it.
They said,
see if we can play a song.
I saw that.
About me not being down with it no more. But he really don't know. He don't really know what to do because he tells people like, hey, me. Okay, so you got ABG. Yes. But it was in 2000. I had went in jail in 2000. I think it's 2015 now. I went in jail in 2013. 12. I went in jail in 2012. I did a year. But when I went to jail in 2012, I didn't get down with the game. I told him I went in. So when you got out in 2013, you told him, no,
I never told them. I just started going around and I went claim. You know, so now they see me with Thug, and then I'm claiming YSL. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's real. So I'm gonna get some money. And that's what we told a couple people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it's about, but that's what you're supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I switched up on them, so I got you. Yeah, so they got the ass with you. But I know that they saying like, I just know it ain't yo, I did something. I know it ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go to jail, I ain't trying to go to nobody, I'm not, none of this. Ain't never had a problem. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, I will show it to you. A person come on my Instagram page and say, you gonna die tonight. They come on my picture and say, on your Instagram? Yes. You gonna die. What's your Instagram page? WOODY372. WOODY372. Say I'm gonna die tonight. But then she deleted the country by a screenshot. So when she deleted, I still took pictures. Yeah, it was a girl. Her name was Maya. Prince. It was some Maya. Come on now. She come and said, you're gonna die. And then she deleted. But I still got a screenshot on my phone. It went dead. I supposed to show it to you when it first. Give me 1 second, right back. Okay.
Oh boy, are we back? What's going on? There's a big yawn, or we're just waiting.
Resume at 3:35:51.
Oh, son of a bitch! Another big yawn.
You got no for Cal, man. You got no for Cal? No. Shine ahead. Yeah. Who's that? No. No, one dumb ain't kill. You know what he got? Look like I seen him before. Which one? Look like I seen both of you with a kid.
Who called you a piece of garbage?
This Roberta Glass. Remember, she called us both a piece. I sent you the video. Someone we were covering. I think Karen Reed. Someone was like, she just called you guys a piece of. Yes. So this person I've never interacted with, no interactions. She blocked me on Twitter, called me a piece of garbage on her live. I know nothing. I know nothing about her other than she's a channel, an anonymous channel that called me and Bob pieces of trash. So whatever.
Oh, I vaguely remember. I've never heard of her. So
yeah.
So Moto dropped you off. It went about his business, and he drives English gray or grayish blue Chevy Impala or Malibu. Yeah, these are run cars. Okay, it's a real. You don't know Moto's real name. I had met a Moto like around. I got Moto like.
Could be, Allie.
He told me what time was that with his FaceTime. I got church. Okay. No, we have an outlet like, let me talk to somebody. I get this somebody over them, somebody's brother or something, got something to do with them, and he tell me right there, let me talk to them, let them know that I ain't had nothing to do with them, and like that. And then, them me and her dad was talking about, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go down, but I told him too, like, you think I should go down and talk? And he's like, nah, because they might find out what happened, you know what I'm saying, and then you ain't got nothing to do with it, they just, like, okay, just like, when they come talk, you just go down there and talk to them, then y'all go do that there. But I was nervous. I was scared. Like, just know, I didn't know what to do. Like, one go to the house, cause I didn't know that. Dang, bro, like, everybody gonna sit here and say, oh, I did that. I know, I go through this every time. Like, the guy got robbed. He blamed on me. Then next thing you know, he found out who did it. Instead of him just going ahead and admit that he was wrong, he still let people think it. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't do that about it. And now somebody's dead, and they thinking it's me. But I can't. It ain't. I ain't afraid of. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. But I just don't want to go to jail or die about somebody to do. And I just know he have a point. Care have a point to who I don't know. But it just now like he cuss. He just won't stop, bro. Like it ain't nothing I can do. Like. I can do this, I can do that. Like, they know I stayed because we were cool. You know what I'm saying? I took my sister's house, my brother's house. We were spent night together and everything. Not care, but the ones that be around me. And all of a sudden, like, that's what it been. Like, I don't know what it was, man. Honestly, I can't, man. Like, I'm so confused right now. So, me and nuts each other, we deaf each other. He like, what's going on with you? And they just chill, man, talking shit, man. He like, man, they about to be a thing going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, man, I didn't know right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can talk to him, but somebody still gonna think I did it. Like, don't matter what I do, where I go, you know what I'm saying? I got sisters and brothers out there too. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like now everybody's dancing because they just shot a girl mama house up. So I ain't tell what they gonna do to my brother and sister. They gonna see one of them. I didn't have nothing to do with this. Like, I never was deaf on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I would never stun them, but I still ask me like, wait, what y'all got to do me? You mad? Don't have no money now? I just pop like that, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was pop money. That's how I talk about money. But now, this man go show up girl mom house, bro. Like, that ain't gonna call for, bro. Like, I'm so worried right now because I talk on the phone, she crying, and then I don't know if she gonna put on me, but like my phone, but when I talked to her, she didn't say that. But I just told her like I didn't do it. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I didn't do it. Like, I'm lost. Like right now, man, I really am, man. I'm scared. I'm lost. I always wondering, but I can't even think, man. Like, I don't know what to do, man. I don't, man. Cause my name come making everything. I'll be playing with it. But now somebody's dead, and I just know. I know how to feel to lose one. You know what I'm saying? I lost my closest partner. You know what I'm saying? And now these niggas, they showing up people's mama houses and stuff like that, bro. Like, and it ain't even dead. It ain't. It's a game. It's the whole clip. You know what I'm saying? They deep. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that put fear in my heart, because now I gotta watch out for everywhere I go. I have to watch out, and it ain't nothing I can do about it. You know? I didn't have nothing to do with this. I didn't kill him. I didn't have him killed. I didn't never try to fight him. I didn't have never try to rob him. I had never done nothing to nothing. Me and Kelly, we don't see each other plenty of times in the street. I ain't never did that to each other. It's been plenty of times. Ain't never in life, man, like never. I'm so frustrated, man. I call my brother, man. Then the advice he gave me, it ain't no good. What advice your brother gave you that you think is no good? I told her, I want to call her, but call the police and come to the house. You know what I'm saying? I really tell y'all, but it ain't gonna be nothing y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Cause from what you say, retarded. Kid was supposed to be retarded, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't scared of him. You know what I'm saying? It's more to life, bro. It's like no matter what I do, everybody always blame me for stuff. So I know there's a lot of people against me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm frustrated, man. I can't. I
been come. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. People like, man, they'll lock you up. They can't lock me up. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell them. They're like, man, but they keep telling me to wait. And this, I don't want to wait. I don't want none of this shit. I'm going out now, get out of the way. Then when I do, they wait. Just do what somebody tell me. When I go down there and tell y'all, and y'all realize I got it, who gonna stop me? That's the only thing I'm afraid of now. Who gonna stop me? I'm really am scared, man. Like, it might seem crazy, but do you know, did you hear anything on the street about who may be beefing with Nut? I didn't know Kev been running around shooting up places. You know what I'm saying? But he, like, me and him ever got to it, he never did that. He done came and shot up the camera house. But this ain't the first time he did. This is the first time he did. He shot everybody up. You know what I'm saying? But didn't nobody know it was him. And then he got into it with his girl. She came back and said it was him. You know what I'm saying? That's why thugs like pay for my window. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he shot the window. So he was like, you're going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So, gotcha. Nut ain't had nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? So, they probably, what happened to Nut probably ain't got nothing to do with this. Was Nut in the game? And Nut was a big dog. But a big dog is, like, Nut ain't a big dog. He a big dog, but he not that over the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So, Nut just care about, he's cool with everybody. Nut cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's a lot of people, but
Jay,
it cares with the problem. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't heard one word of you.
Yeah,
and not only because I can't hear it, I've completely abandoned trying to listen to it. I don't know. We've lost a bunch of viewers. I think this video just kind of sucks.
It does.
I mean, all right, so we're up to 150 votes. It's 54 Boone, 46 with Lil Wood. I mean, look, we can't hear the dude. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. And this seems like it could go on forever now.
I know.
My whole 12-minute theory has been just shot to shit, man.
I think the 12 minutes was what they weren't playing.
Yeah, you were clearly right about that. So I don't know, man. What do y'all think? All right, now that we're like 40 minutes into this, and I realize that you can't unvote, are we still feeling the same thing? Like, stick with this? It's like unintelligible. Because like we can all chat no matter what the hell's playing in the background. Right. And that's what I'm doing at this point anyway. I'm pretty much just chatting. So I don't know. But we'll leave it up to y'all. Y'all are the bosses here, you know?
Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna go to Boone.
I think we go to Boone. Because I mean that weirdness is like watching a car wreck. So and I can't, but when I watch it I can watch it on the YouTubes and I can hear it. It's such a weird thing. I'm curious as to why that is. I wonder if I connect with my headphones. Maybe I'll try that.
So it also happened with this too? Like Boone, you couldn't?
No, this I can hear fine. It was only the Boone thing. Like I could not hear at all. I could not hear her speaking. I could hear the witness and the lawyer, but I couldn't hear Sarah speaking at all. Not one word, not like faintly at all.
If you do headphones, it might work because it's only coming out of one ear for Boone. That's what it is. But although I don't know why it doesn't come out of one of your speakers, though. That's weird.
All right, let me see. I'll try to stick in my little earbuds.
So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start Boone from the beginning, and if Woody ends up actually being questioned, if anyone's keeping an eye on it, let me know. But we'll check out this hearing, and because her trial is coming up in October, so I mean, I guess we'll see what's going on in this hearing.
Maybe.
That's true.
Yeah.
You got your earbuds. Let's see if this works for Bob.
William J. for the state. Ma'am, good morning. Can you raise your right hand? Madam Clerk will swear you in.
Please swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth,
All right, ma'am, good morning, rather. Could you state your full name and date of birth for the record for me?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-77.
Okay, we
had a hearing this Monday on August the 5. The court had entered a scheduling order and notice of hearings. Ma'am, that was sent to you by way of mail. Did you receive that?
I did yesterday.
Okay, all right. I know that you had brought up concerns regarding mailing, and I just wanted to go through the historics with regard to the mailing. As you may recall, back on June 28th, we had a hearing where I granted Ms. Cushman's motion to withdraw and addressed your forfeiture, alternatively a waiver to counsel. You were hand-delivered a copy of that order. On May 25, we had a hearing and an order was entered and a notice of hearing was set. That order was hand-delivered to you. Thereafter, there was an order setting hearing that was entered on July 29. That letter, or that order rather, was sent to you at P.O. Box 9109, Seminole, Florida 33775, which is the Orange County Corrections Department mail address for general inmate mail. That was remedied the next day. On July 30th, a certificate of service was entered to the appropriate address, identifying you, your inmate number, FDC-B4, P.O. Box 4970, Orlando, Florida 32802, which is the address that you had placed in your motion and your notice. That certificate of service included the notice of filing of the memorandum from the Orange County Corrections Department, Security Operations, and there was also a certificate of service providing you the Justice Administrative Commission's response to motions seeking due process costs. The next mailings was a notice of mailing of documents by your former attorney, Patricia Cashman, which was the transcripts of depositions of detectives Chelsea Copsell and Scott Lowen, which were taken on May 7th, 2024. That was e-filed on August the 1st, 2024, and mailed to you with address to you, your inmate number, FDC Dorm B, P.O. Box 4970, I apologize, P.O. Box 4970, Orlando, Florida. Did you receive those deposition transcripts?
I did.
Okay. Then the notice of delivery, would you recall when you received those transcripts?
Everything that you are stating was received on Monday.
The 5th?
Correct.
Okay. The next was a notice of delivery of digital copies of documents that was e-filed by your former attorney, Patricia Cashman, on August 1, 2024, which provided the transcripts of depositions of detectives Chelsea Copsell and Scott Lowen taken May 7, 2024 to Billy Lane on August 1st, and that was mailed to you at the same address we've been addressing, P.O. Box 4970 on August 1. Did you receive that notice?
I'm sorry, what was sent that for?
Notice of delivery of digital copies of documents, which reflected the deposition transcripts of the detectives I just identified to Mr. Lane.
To be honest with you, I don't know. It was a lump sum of a giant amount of paperwork, and I haven't gone through it yet.
Okay.
They had me sign about 4 or 5 different documents, so.
Okay.
For receipt.
And the last was a certificate of service that was just e-filed on May the 5th, which was provided to you as well on August the 5th. It was provided to you on August the 5th at the P.O. Box we've identified by way of U.S. mail, which was a copy of the order authorizing the defense to incur costs for private investigator and the scheduling order and notice of hearings entered August 5, 2024. Have you received both of those?
I did, and I had questions on that, please, whenever.
In just a moment, ma'am. So I know that there was a concern with regard to mailing.
That she was not getting notice of hearings that happened, right?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear, by the way, now with your earphones? Yes.
And things purportedly not being timely provided to you. There was only one order, the order of July 29th, which was sent to the general mail delivery, and that was remedied the exact next day on July 30th. So that clerical error as to the wrong address was remedied one day after the original order was sent out on July the 29th. I just wanted to put that on the record and again, identify for you, ma'am, that nothing's being withheld from you and everything is being timely served to you as required. Now, you had questions about the JAC order. I will revisit those in just a moment. I've got a sticky with regard to that.
And I was going to say, please, if I may, about the address. There were 2 or 3 different documents that were uploaded to the tablet. So those 3 documents, without knowing specifically which ones they are, those were also sent to P.O. Box 9101.
I don't know what you're talking about.
you were talking about supposedly just one document that was mailed to the incorrect address. It was more than one.
That's not correct. Court scoured the court file this morning, ma'am. The court has not filed anything other than what I've identified since that June 28th order, where you were representing yourself pro se. So that is incorrect.
Is it something that I need to record and bring back, or is it that big of a deal?
I can't answer that question. That may call for me providing you legal advice.
Okay.
But I can tell you that other than the July 29th order, which was remedied the next day, everything has been sent to the appropriate legal mail address as provided by the Orange County Jail. We've had this hearing today to address a couple of things based on the scheduling order and notice of hearing that was entered August 5. The first was the digital evidence issue. I've been advised, I think through Mr. Lane, who I do see in the courtroom. Mr. Lane, if you could come on up, sir, so Madam Clerk can swear you in. Sir, can you state your full name and your affiliation with Prison Break Investigations, please?
Billy Lane, Chief Investigator, owner of Prison Break Investigations.
Okay. I understand part of the order from Monday was regarding the state's digital evidence. I understand that may have been provided on a USB drive to you, Mr. Lane. I want to hear from the state with regard to that first. So either Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore.
Yes, Your Honor. We have tendered to Mr. Lane a copy of our the exhibit list with our expected items of evidence that will be received, along with expected witnesses that, to be called at the trial. A copy of that was provided on the USB with the exhibits, the witness lists, also proposed jury instructions and a stipulation as to victim ID for her review as well.
Okay. And when was that provided to Mr. Lane?
Just now.
Okay. All right. The witness and exhibit list that is included on that USB, do you have hard copies?
I do, Your Honor. I would like to file them in open court.
That was going to be my next question. Okay.
And I have a copy for defense.
Okay, very good.
As well.
Deputy Bruce, if we can get the copy of the witness list and the exhibits and take that from Mr. Lane and provide it to Ms. Boone.
And Your Honor, the state's position is that given that our exhibit list contains within it a witness list as well, we would ask that that document be sealed the way the witness lists are routinely sealed. A copy of that request to seal is there with the notice of the witness list on the initial page before our notice of the exhibit list.
What I have in front of me is the notice of provision of witness list and then the notice of expected evidence and witnesses in trial. I don't have an order or...
It wouldn't be an order. It would just be that first document you read, reference, the notice of provision of witness list.
Got it. Okay, thank you. All right. Anything else with regard to the expected evidence and digital evidence?
No.
Okay, so just for my own understanding, there are 9 files on the USB drive that are digital in nature. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And those are all on the USB drive that is going to be provided to Ms. Boone?
Yes, they're broken down by folders.
And the folders, or the names of the folders, do they match the names in the digital evidence list?
They roughly match. I believe that on there may be some slight change of terminology from, I believe, files found on iPhone as opposed to suitcase, videos, and still shot.
Okay, all right. State, anything else to add with regard to the digital evidence?
No, I also have a copy of the thumb drive as well that Mr. Lane has had an opportunity to copy for his client that I can tender to Mr. Lane to tender to his client.
Is that different that we've already given him?
He had an opportunity to copy it, but this would be their copy to retain.
Okay, all right. So you can go ahead and provide that. Do you want to mark that as an exhibit for the purposes of the hearing? I guess not, since it's going to be transferred directly to Mr. Lane.
Correct.
Okay, all right. You can go ahead and give that to Mr. Lane. All right. Ma'am, or Mr. Cacciatore, any other questions? Anything else you want to bring to my attention with regard to the digital evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, have you had the opportunity to review the notice of expected evidence and witnesses at trial document that was just provided to the court and yourself this morning?
I did.
Okay. Do you have any questions with regard to the digital evidence, which are paragraphs 1 through 9 on the first and second pages of the notice?
I don't know what the majority of them are. Is this part of the evidence that was supplied to me on all of the USB drives that was supplied also?
Yes, this is a pared down. All of the items referenced in our notice and provided on the USB have already been previously disclosed and given to defense.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes. On the USB drives for the laptop, it's not compatible with the USB drives for some of the files, so I cannot open a majority of what are on both of the USB drives.
What do you mean you cannot open a majority? What can you not open?
I don't know specifically which files. I know that some of them come up as videos, some of them come up as JPEG, some of them come up as different formats. But there's an entire page of multiple icons that come up, and every time I try to open one, it won't let me review it.
Okay.
So I don't know.
What does it say?
I don't know. I moved on from that to try to go to other programs, so I don't know. I figured it would be something that I might be able to speak to Billy about when he came to see me early next week. So, but I'm just stating to the court now that's one of the problems that I'm having with the laptop.
But you said it's a majority, but you can't identify specifics for me, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is it that you're not able to look at?
It doesn't identify what they are because of the amount. When I click on a particular file, there's a file inside of a file inside of a file. So when I try to open one of the files, all these different icons come up. So if I try to click on one, it says unavailable.
That's
so I
called
keep trying
a
to go
folder,
to the next
madam.
one, the next one, and the next
That's
one.
a folder.
But they're all the same format, so I can't open any of those.
Okay. And how many times has that happened?
The one time
One
that
file, 10 files, 20 files, 50 files, or was it just a one time and then you moved on to something else?
I don't know how many files were in it because I didn't bother to waste my time on trying to open. I believe I tried to open about 8 or 9 of them, and then I just moved on from that folder into another folder.
And the other items in the other folder, were those accessible? Were those viewable?
For the most part, yes. I have not had a
I don't know
moment
what
to.
for the most part means.
I haven't had time yet to explore everything due to the dorm environment. So as soon as in the amount of information, the vast amount of information that he has on there, I'm trying to figure out a way where I can sit in it. I have a letter to you that I wrote to the captain, a copy for you, so you know what I'm trying to work on in order for privacy to be had. So I haven't explored both USB drives to the fullest potential that I possibly can yet. Just from the moment that I have attempted to do so, the one problem I have had was with the one folder with many icons in it. I attempted to open about 8 or 9 of them, could not, so I moved on to whatever was next.
Okay, all right. Dave?
I could add to that everything that we have provided on this USB file, we have checked. It's all on standard formats. For instance, the public surveillance video that's referenced in our notice, we included both the original Publix files from there, and then we also had those files converted to VLC because they are easier to play in VLC. So if she clicks on that folder, she can click again on a subfolder, and she will find the VLC files for where the Publix video has been converted. So everything in there should be standard JPEG, VLC, and also believe an MP4 for some audio-only files.
Okay, all right. Ma'am, do you have any other questions with regard to the digital information or digital evidence identified in the notice that the state's provided the court and yourself this morning?
That was what was just handed to Mr. Lane. So, Mr. Lane, you and I would go over that when you and I meet.
I will be meeting with you tomorrow.
There is a concern that I will not be able to transfer this to Ms. Boone through the jail protocol.
I have a remedy for that. With regard to, well, let me finish with the digital. Any other concerns, ma'am, as to the items identified in this notice?
Until I'm able to open them and see them, no, I do not.
Sure. Okay. State anything else we need to talk about with regard to that issue?
Not in regards to that issue.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Lane, I'm going to ask that you take possession of that jump drive that was tendered to you in court this morning, and you advise the court that you're going to be meeting with Ms. Boone tomorrow. Is that correct? About approximately what time are you going to be meeting with her, if you know?
9 a.m.
Okay. All right. I have had the opportunity to have further conversations with Major Muhammad at the jail, including conversations regarding the physical documents. Ma'am, are you still requesting hard copies of the documents?
I am.
Okay. The jail has advised me that they've had conversations with you related to any other property or legal documents that you may need. Have you ever advised the jail that you have everything that you need and don't need anything else?
No, one of the sergeants came and spoke to me yesterday, miscommunication of some sort, where I explained to her what I'm trying to do with purging my property and the property department so I can anticipate those discovery hard copies.
Was that Tracy Hall?
No, that was Hall. Her last name is Hall.
So it was Hall, H-A-L-L, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But someone sent her to me to see me, so I just don't know who that was.
Who was it you communicated with yesterday regarding your personal effects that may have been in a property locker?
Miss Hall.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do you know Miss Hall's first name?
I don't know any of the officers.
Okay, all right. So in conversations with Major Muhammad, they are going to be able to accommodate you having your paper copies. So Mr. Lane, I know that you took custody of those and have had them. So tomorrow, when you meet Ms. Boone at approximately 9 a.m., you will meet Mr. Muhammad as well. Well, let me ask this. Are you able to go to the jail today?
I can, yes.
Okay, so I know for a fact that Major Muhammad is available today, and he may be expecting you to arrive today. If you are able to provide to him the banker's boxes that were identified as A and B and that jump drive, and then provide the court with a notice as to when and what time and that to whom you gave it should be Major Muhammad, those items, so we can file it in the court file. And those will then be, the digital evidence will then be provided with the laptop in accordance with the protocol that we've gone over previously, and Major Muhammad will make sure that Ms. Boone has access to the hard copies. So after conferring, well, let me ask this. State, do you have any other position with regard to the motion that was set to be heard today, the defendant's motion regarding seeking her hard copies?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so for the record then, that motion will be granted. The motion for defendant to lawfully receive, review, utilize the original hard copy discovery, 2 boxes A and B, submitted to the court by former attorneys on June 28, 2024 for preparation of trial in her criminal case. As ordered, Mr. Lane will deliver those to the jail today and seek to have them delivered to Major Malik Muhammad, along with the digital the USB drive with the digital evidence. Mr. Lane, the deposition transcripts of detectives Chelsea Copsall and Scott Lowen were purportedly sent to you on August 1st. Did you receive those from Ms. Cashman?
Yes.
Okay, were they a part of the 2 USB drives that we addressed on August 5. You had the smaller one, which was everything you digitized from the 2 boxes, and then you had the larger one of other materials that you had been given previously.
No, but I do have a drive that I can put them on and make sure they get to the jail today.
Okay, if you could make sure, sir, that when you drop off the other 2 things, digital copies, I know Ms. Boone has identified that she has physical copies, but I'd like to give her digital copies just in case. State, do you have any questions with regard to the court's directive to Mr. Lane regarding the hard copies, depositions of the detectives, or the digital evidence the state may seek to admit in trial?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Mr. Lane regarding those 3 items?
No.
Okay. Can Mr. Lane be released?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to, can he be released, ma'am?
I guess I'll see you at 9.
Okay. Sir, if you could endeavor to do that today, I would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. The next matter this morning is the defendant's motion for defendant's reasonable freedom and movement by allowing her to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, to function equally and comfortably while utilizing the courtroom that was hand filed with the court on August 5, 2024. Court has had the opportunity to review that motion and the law regarding restraints. State, do you have any positions at this time with regard to the defense's motion?
Your Honor, in speaking with courtroom security, we would oppose the motion, and we have Corporal Gavin Lowton available to supplement this court's knowledge on the issue.
Okay. So, ma'am, we're going to have a hearing on your motion. The state will call the corporal. He will be inquired by the state as to some concerns that they may have, and you'll be given the opportunity to ask him questions or cross-examine him after the state's concluded asking any questions. Do you have any questions about that process?
Is that today?
That will be happening right now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that process?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and call your witness. State.
State will call Gavin Lowton.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you should give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Sir, good morning. Can you state and spell your name for the record for me?
Gavin Alton, Gavin, Lwtan.
All right. Thank you. State, you may proceed.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And what is it that you do for a living?
I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office as a deputy sheriff.
And to what area of the sheriff's office are you assigned?
Court and security.
And how long have you worked that assignment?
Over 5 years now.
And tell us, what are some of your duties within that assignment?
I supervise the deputies in 2 felony courtrooms and 1 civil courtroom.
And are you familiar with the defendant in this particular case?
Just through research that I've done on her, I don't have any personal knowledge.
And what, in regards to that research into the defendant, what is your position as the head of security regarding her request to be free from shackles?
I do not believe she should be free of shackles.
And why is it that you have come to that conclusion?
Based on her current charge of second degree murder, she also has previous domestic arrest for battery by strangulation. She has 3 separate incidents at the jail for non-compliance, where she was told to attend her court hearings, or scheduled court hearings, and she refused to do so. And then even when the corrections officers told her she could be charged with contempt of court, she still refused to attend those hearings. Those kind of, when you combine all that, to me it shows a propensity for violence and not wanting to follow lawful commands and orders of law enforcement personnel.
What accommodations can be made in order to keep concealed the fact that she is shackled or restrained?
This is a pretty big deal. I mean, this seems like it's a 404B hearing talking about prior bad acts in terms of admissibility. I mean, we're going to see if she knows what the fuck's going on right now, because this is like, this is all stuff that they want to introduce about her past and her current situation in the incarceration. She's been in for 4 years, man.
Yeah.
So this is going to be, I didn't know that this happened on Friday.
So
I thought this was just going to be the bullshit about the discovery, which she should have paper copies. Like, she's got to prepare for trial. She should be able to access her discovery, burn the midnight oil. It can't be limited to when she can access a computer or her tablet to be able to prepare for her case. She should be able to do it, whatever. So the judge definitely made the right move here. Like, and there's a little bit of chat going on about whether or not this thing will get continued, because it's such an old case, because she's, burned through 8 lawyers. This judge is tired of her shit. I mean, she's had it. She clearly knows the facts of the case. Obviously, the question is has she been able to secure experts? Like, if I were repping her, I'd have to be going for some kind of, battered spouse type syndrome defense that, this guy was a violent dude, that it had messed with her head. But her own words hurt her so much in terms of her interview, even beyond the video. When you watch her interrogation video and you even remove the video of her taunting him when he's stuck in the suitcase, she did not help herself. She's got that smartest person in the room type vibe. She should have known. She should have shut the hell up without a lawyer in there.
But this specifically, I think, is just about her being not having cuffs, right, during her trial. That's why I think he's bringing up the shit that she did, because he's like, she should not be uncuffed because of this prior shit she did. Like that's what I think they're going over now. This is like the court officer saying that she should not be allowed to be uncuffed. Can Bob hear me? I can't.
Here, she would just be in leg restraints. She wouldn't have the belly chains. She wouldn't have handcuffs on. We've modified the leg restraints by wrapping tape around the chains. So even if she's to make motion or movement, it wouldn't make noise to alert the jury as to that she's got restraints on. She would be brought in and sat at the defense table prior to the jury coming in and being seated, so they wouldn't see her walk in with restraints on. And there's a panel in front of the defense table that prevents the jury from seeing that she's got leg restraints on.
Your Honor, I don't believe I have any further questions at this time.
Thank you. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Officer Lowden?
I do.
Go ahead.
First off, in your in quotes research that you've done on me, the domestic violence case that I was charged with, the felony with strangulation, was dropped.
Oh, so I'm way behind apparently.
Yes, so I was never charged with.
It's I'm 35 to 40 seconds behind. I'm just hearing what you're. So this is just her being shackled.
This is about her being, yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm way behind. I don't know if Oh yeah. There's no way she should be shackled. There's no fucking way. She's pro se. That there's no way she can't be in prison garb and she can't be shackled. Zero chance. They're gonna have to figure it out.
That. Also, what 3
It's so prejudicial. So prejudicial to a jury.
I'll have those here.
I've never missed a court date. In the almost 5 years that I've been here, I've never argued. I've never hesitated.
Object to the form of the question, Your Honor.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Ma'am, you have to ask one fact per question.
Okay.
I am prepared to give her the date. Okay. On September 15, 2023, that was one of the times you refused to attend. October 16, 2023, and January 28, 2021.
And do you know what those were specifically for?
For court attendance, wherever you were scheduled for that day.
For a hearing or pretrial or withdrawal?
I don't know. This is just information from the jail where the corrections officer said you refused to attend your hearings.
So is that on record that I have supposedly refused these 3 dates to appear in
At
court?
the jail, yes.
Who is your contact, please? I've never missed a date.
This is a database that I got this information from.
Do you know when it was last updated?
This, I don't know.
Okay, so do you know how, I have never missed a court date to the present date. I don't know specifically what dates are for, in order for me to have supposedly denied going. Do you know the name of the officers for each one? You do?
Yes.
Please.
For the September 15, 2023, it is Corrections Officer Portia Hines,
Could you spell her last name, please?
Hines.
And you said the date was 9/15/23?
Correct.
Okay.
And if you would like, I can read her comments in her report.
Sure.
At approximately midnight, I informed inmate Boone, Sarah, that she was scheduled to appear in court today. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I advised her that her absence could result in being held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone stated she understood and continued in her decision to refuse. Corporal L. Cameron was notified. This report is being generated for informational purposes.
But it doesn't say what it was that I supposedly refused.
To attend court. It doesn't say specifically what your hearing is for.
Okay.
Second one, it'll be Officer Christy Green.
And what is this date for?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Which date is it that you're referencing?
That's going to be October 16, 2023.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the name?
Green, Greene.
And what was the first initial, please?
K.
Greene.
Yes.
10/16/23.
Yes.
Okay.
And the third one is January 28, 2021. And the officer is Jasmine Scribner. Scribner.
What are the comments, please, for Green?
At approximately 0300 hours, I advised inmate Boone, Sarah, that she was on the schedule to attend downtown court. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I informed inmate Boone that if she fails to attend, she could be held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone acknowledged she understood and continued with the decision to refuse to attend court. Corporal Ward at the Booking and Release Center, transport officer, was notified. All proper notations were made in the IMS.
Okay. And January 28?
At approximately 0334 hours, inmate Boone, Sarah, was advised she has downtown court and to start getting ready. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I informed inmate Boone that she could be charged with contempt of court. Inmate Boone still refused to attend court. Corporal Hall and the Booking and Release Center transportation officer were notified of this incident. This report is being generated for informational purposes only.
And all of those comments were made on the day of that I supposedly refused?
I don't know when they entered that.
It doesn't state in their IMS? In their program?
It might, but I didn't take that information down.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how it, I know all three corporals and the sergeant, so I've never refused court. There is no reason for me to want to refuse court.
I'm going to object this to ask and answer.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
So the domestic violence, the original, was dropped. I was never charged with that.
Object as to relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled. You can answer the question, sir.
Okay. It was dropped. You were charged and arrested. I don't know why the state dropped it. It could be because both parties, based on the report that I read, did not want to cooperate, so they probably didn't have information to go forward with the charges. That does not mean that you didn't commit the act. It just meant the state felt that they didn't have a case that they could win.
What is your definition of probably did not cooperate? Was it a fact, or you're just...
It doesn't mean that she did commit the act either.
Object to the question.
Objection sustained.
both of the charges were dropped for Mr. Torres and
Who is
for
this
myself
guy?
was because we
Like a
did
jail
cooperate,
guy?
and there was
Jail
not
guard
enough
dude?
information.
He's like the head of the court security. Like he's the guy saying, no, she should not be on. He's the head of the courtrooms. He's the supervisor of the court officers in this courtroom and a couple other ones.
And we received documentation in the mail, both of us, for the reasons why it was
This is fucking
dropped.
ridiculous.
I'm going to object this to the form of the question.
This shouldn't even be heard. The judge should just say she's not going to be shackled. Move on.
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
You guys have guns,
I'm trying
tasers.
to
You'll be fine.
provide my information for what it is that I'm being accused of. I don't know if I'm doing it the wrong way, apparently, so I don't know I don't know the protocol for this. I'm just trying to answer my accusations.
Understand your position. I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot provide you any legal advice.
Okay, I'm just stating to the court that I'm doing my best with being uneducated. That is my. For the non-compliance.
All right, I'm gonna go represent her pro se. I feel like she's getting like I'm gonna go get a pro hoc.
Remedied.
Good luck with that,
And
Bob.
then what about? Do you need the documentation?
She's getting
for
fucking railroaded.
A domestic charge that I was not charged with and it was dropped cooperatively.
I do know that the charges were dropped. I'm just saying that is in your history.
I understand, but I was never charged with it. Correct?
You were charged with it. It was dropped. The charges were dropped.
But it is not on my record.
The arrest is on your record.
But the charge for the domestic violence is not on my record.
No, you were never
Just
convicted.
to ask and answer, Your Honor.
Overruled.
You were never convicted of the domestic battery charge, but you were charged with it.
And the case was dropped.
Yes.
For the three supposed non-compliance
Oh, I know,
that I
Akasha.
have,
I'm well
I know
aware
that
of the
two of the
poster.
officers are no longer with
The flyer.
the Department of Corrections, Orange County Corrections Department. So I will need to speak to their supervisors in order for me to have, I guess, this remedy. Is it a...
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the form of the question. This is a statement, not a question.
Objection is sustained.
I guess I will provide information to you for the non-compliance occurrences that I'm being charged with.
Your Honor, again, I'm going to object as to that's not a
Could
question.
bring you fame and stuff.
The objection is sustained.
I know this is a lame question, but what does sustained mean?
Bob, how about you represent her, and when every day you just wear a suit that is like your Defense Diaries QR code, like, and so every time the camera's on, it just has a thing that says "Scan my QR code." There's a free press.
The state's legal basis.
Listen, man, you were talking about Woody being a marketing genius. You, my friend, are the true marketing genius.
For you asking that question is correct, and the court will not permit you to ask that question
Thank you.
in the way that it may be asked.
What do I need to provide to you in order to have that remedied, in order for me to be unhandcuffed?
Your Honor, again, I'm going to object as to the form of the question.
Overruled.
Whatever documentation, but I believe that the decision as to whether or not you'll be in restraints will be made today.
I understand, but it can be made.
What's that?
The decision in order to be unhandcuffed.
Correct. I suppose if you have documentation to say that this was all fabricated, then I wouldn't be able to use this.
Correct, as you telling me about the domestic violence. That cannot be used against me either.
It is still part of your history. I can bring it up.
Right, but just to clarify and conclude, I was not ever charged with that.
Again, I'm going to object as to ask and answer.
Sustained.
Okay, I will, do I provide this information to you?
You can provide it to the state.
Okay. Am I, in your opinion, a flight risk or detrimental to the courtroom and am a threat of any type of harm?
Tiny desk guy.
Based on what I've researched, I don't know you personally, but based on my research, I don't think it would be appropriate.
Jay, be my tiny desk guy.
That would be amazing.
And then what was the year, please, for the charge that was dropped with the domestic violence?
That would be amazing.
2018?
Correct.
And it is now 2024.
We could walk in like stepbrothers, tuxedos.
Okay. And you're going solely off of what, the arrest affidavit?
Ripping huge farts.
What is it that you're using to conclude due to this occurrence that was dropped that I would not be able to be unrestrained?
Correct. Your arrest history, the information I read, all the research that I've done, that's where I'm basing my conclusion on.
But what specifically from that 2018 charge?
The fact that you were charged with battery by strangulation, which is a violent act, is one of the reasons why I've said that I do not believe it's appropriate for you not to be in restraints.
But it was never proven, correct, because it was dropped?
It was dropped. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Okay. I'll be working on the others with the corporals and the sergeant for the supposed non-compliance. Thank you for the dates and the information.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
Do I need to supply anything for the 2018 domestic violence occurrence that you are referencing and applying?
It's already been dropped. I'm just telling you what the history is. So,
and you can still apply it even though it's not been.
Correct. It's in your history.
Okay. Thank you for the information.
Any follow-ups, Dave?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay. Anything else, Dave?
Not from the state.
Okay. I see Deputy Barnett here. Could you come up, sir?
You should give Shelby the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do. Sir, good afternoon, or good morning, rather. Can you state your full name and date of birth for the record for me?
My name is Jeffery.
And not your date of birth. Sorry. Could you spell your name for the record?
C-H-A-D-B-A-R-N-E-T-T.
And what are your duties and responsibilities here at the Orange County Courthouse?
I'm a deputy sheriff at the Orange County Courthouse. I work in courtrooms, I supervise squads, and I'm also in charge of training inside the courthouse.
Okay. Is there any training that's addressed with regard to other security measures other than shackles that may be provided for defendants?
Yes, we have an item called the stun cuff that is also used in the courtroom.
Okay, could you step us through what a stun cuff is?
A stun cuff is an electronic device that's wireless. It's box secured to the leg. It has 50,000 volts.
Whoa.
And it's able to be remotely sparked from a distance.
How is it fixed or placed on a person?
It's dual strapped along the calf of either leg. It can be hidden in the pants and gives the ability to people to walk around.
And who is in charge of operating that device?
It'll be an assigned officer that's been trained in the device.
And step us through the operation of how that device is utilized or operated by that officer.
I want it, Julie.
The
I want
officer
it.
will show the device to the subject or the inmate or the defendant. It will be secured with 2 straps on the leg. There's a waiver to be signed prior to being used, explaining when it would be used, if it was needed to be used during court, violence, attempt to escape, any actions that lead to that level of
A waiver?
You
get the prisoner to. You think Sarah Boone's gonna sign a waiver to fucking get zapped?
That process. So
yes, I'd like to sign a waiver to be electrocuted and open
50,000 volts. Yep. Here's my John Hancock. Go ahead.
Hey, where is the waiver so that I can get fried on national TV?
Was in great amount of pain, causing the defendant most likely to fall to the ground. and we could secure and take care of the situation after that.
Are there any other protocols or standard operating procedures regarding the use of the stun belt, other than what you've already identified?
Just to follow response to resistance policy.
Okay, and can you explain the response to resistance policy?
We have a level of response to resistance depending on what an individual does to what we would do. So if she was attempt to escape or fight.
Susie Bug, just catch up.
To match that.
Don't be behind. Like, just come in. Like you haven't.
What is the level of resistance whereby which the stun belt would be deployed or utilized?
At this moment, it is at a level 3.
And what is a level 3?
Level 3 would be failing to follow directions and stuff like that. If we asked her to get up and move or not, or follow a lawful order, we could use it. Most likely in the courtroom, we would use it probably at a level 4 level. That is pretty much fighting, escaping, attacking another person.
Okay, all right. State, do you have any questions to Deputy Barnett?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Deputy Barnett?
I do, please.
Go ahead.
Tell me, what is the title of this?
Stun cuff.
Cuff. And you said this was applied on the calf or the ankle?
Yeah, the Achilles tendon area of your leg.
And is this something that does it need extensive preparation, or is it something that can just be put on coming and going from the courtroom?
We would place it on you before the court starts, and you can take it off as court every time we exit the courtroom. It takes a few moments besides signing the waiver and securing it to your leg.
And it's a one-time waiver?
Each day you will have to re-sign the waiver.
Okay, so there's no limit to how many times it can be put on and taken off, and it's a very simple process to apply.
Yes.
And remove.
That would be like convulsions on the floor. It'd be horrible.
Not from the state.
Sorry. Would I have my hands free, correct?
Yes, you would have your hands free either way. If you were in a leg irons, your hands would be completely free. The stun cuff, same thing.
And then I would be able to walk?
You would be able to walk with the stun cuff freely, yes.
So hands free and able to walk?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other follow-up, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Can Mr. Barnett or Sergeant Barnett be released?
Yes.
Ma'am, can he be released?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. State, any argument, any further witnesses, evidence, or testimony with regard to the defendant's shackle motion?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you have any other things that you would like to tell the court with regard to your motion?
I don't understand what Sergeant Burnett was that you all providing me an option?
There is Florida Supreme Court case law addressing reasonable measures for movement by a defendant in the courtroom.
So that is an option?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to supply the information in regards to the supposed 3 non-compliance before that can actually be made an actual option?
I cannot answer that question because that would be me providing you legal advice which you could
attack people. Really? Come on, man. It's like treating everybody like Hannibal Lecter. It's too much.
Yeah, she's not business, but I guess they're
No.
just thinks she's nutty.
Can or should do, and I cannot do that.
Would I be able
I just
to be
don't know enough
unrestrained
about what
with
went on
that
with her and her lawyers to call her
information?
nutty. You know what I mean? Like, I think she was in a mutually combative relationship. I respect a woman who's not going to take shits from some shit bag who's beating on her. I respect the fact that she punched him right in his fucking face. You know, I don't and I want to know, who decided to pull this piece of luggage that was buried in that closet out? Was it her or was it dude? Because if it was dude, you know, whose idea was it to zip themselves in there?
I think she said.
Yeah, but
police interview.
she did, but she said that it was it was buried in that closet. So I can't remember if she said George did it or not. You know, so I mean, because the concept of her zipping him up in a game of hide and go seek kind of defeats the purpose of hide and go seek if you're the one zipping him up, because clearly you know where he's hiding, right? So I don't know, that part of the story doesn't make much sense, but I don't know. I just in all honesty, Jay, in a cloth in a cloth suitcase, I would not think that somebody would not be able to breathe. I mean, would it be harder to breathe? Of course, but it's not like
you would when they're begging to get out.
Well, they could just be acting like, claustrophobic.
Come on, you saw those videos,
like,
dude. He's begging her to get out. You can't.
Well, yeah,
because come on,
he's stuck in a suitcase. That doesn't mean he can't really breathe. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. He was
Jay,
begging
we're
to get
gonna
out.
need to have a suitcase breathing expert put on the stand.
Dude, it doesn't matter whether he's begging to get out. She won't let him out, and she's like, you cheated on me, whatever. She's like taunting him. She had to let him out.
Yeah, I mean, like he was beating her, cheating on her.
Well, I don't know what the prior history is, but he was zipped in a suitcase. She was wasted. He wants to get out, and she is filming it and saying, "Fuck you, you're not getting out."
Yeah, I know.
I'm down to the argument of yours.
Trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out how
as to what the court has to consider with regard to your requests and your motion and what the law is in the state of Florida.
If I may make it clear also, I'm simply just asking to be unhandcuffed so I can write and move properly. I'm not trying to
I honestly don't think that she
maneuver the courtroom and so on and so forth. I simply just am asking to sit here being unhandcuffed so I can write without taking skin off of my wrist and being extremely uncomfortable.
Okay.
Probably did.
Ma'am, thank you for that clarification. Because when I read your motion, you
Being
asked to be unshackled, to have freedom of movement. And I interpreted that as you wanted to move as everybody else may be able to move in this courtroom, as Mr. Cacciatore has moved around, how other persons have moved around. And it wasn't only limited to your hands. I thought it meant to your entire person based on what it is that you were seeking in your motion. So just for the purposes of my own clarification, is your motion only seeking to have your hands not bound so that you can move your hands, but otherwise shackles that may be on your legs would continue to stay there?
Right. I don't currently have shackles, but I don't know what is in regards to trial procedure. And in regards for you not having the clarification of me just wanting to be unhandcuffed, is it my responsibility, or I don't know if you can answer this, but you don't ask questions, which is what got me in this predicament from the get-go of having no counsel, because no questions were ever asked to me. Just for the majority of my motions and letters and so on that I have supplied the court for more information to try to intervene and help, it's just gotten me into hotter water and no counsel and still restrained. So is it something that I need to specifically clarify going forward, or is it something that you have the ability to ask me questions so you have a better understanding?
Generally, I don't know that I can answer that question because it may call for me providing you legal advice. If I'm asking questions, it's because I'm trying to clarify things from my understanding. I cannot ask questions on your behalf. I cannot ask questions for you. I cannot assist you in any process, be it this hearing or at trial.
Right. Yes, I understand. I wasn't asking for assistance. I was just trying to understand. By you not asking questions in regards to my motion about being unhandcuffed and unshackled simply meant just my handcuffs.
Ma'am, I reviewed your motion to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, and allowed reasonable freedom to movement and functioning accordingly, equally, and comfortably while utilizing the courtroom. All normal movement of the defendant's hands is as a whole freely, properly, successfully accomplish any task that is needed. Asking to be unshackled and unhandcuffed, the defendant is simply requesting equal, comfortable, functional movement to achieve advancement in her forfeited right to counsel by the court, which will greatly enhance the productivity and progress for the defendant and the completion of her defense in her criminal case in preparation for trial. Your wherefore clause specifically asks to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, and allowed reasonably freedom in movement to function equally, accordingly, and comfortably in the courtroom. I took that as you wanted to move around. You did not want to be shackled, which would be your legs as well, and you did not want to have handcuffs. If you're telling me now that all you're asking is your hands to be free, that's respectfully not what your motion says over and over and over again, as I've just read. So if you would like to clarify for me now at this time, you can, as to what it is that you're asking of me.
Yes. handcuffed. I would like to have these handcuffs removed from my wrists.
Okay.
In regards to the unshackled, I know at some point I would have to maneuver, I'm guessing, in the courtroom for trial. So I didn't want to have to wait last moment to have to do another motion to be unshackled if that's what my option is, because I don't know. So I was just trying to be transparent prior so you would know what it was that I was hopefully expecting. But first,
go ahead.
It's just handcuffs means unhandcuffed. And if for trial I have to be shackled, to be unshackled.
Okay, and when you say unshackled, what do you mean by that? Just so that we're all in the same field.
Shackled, as far as my understanding is from being shackled, means that I have this along with my waist, along with my ankles. So unhandcuffed is simply for the hands and the wrists, and then unshackled would be for my ankles and for the feet.
And is that what you were seeking for trial purposes?
I didn't know if I was going to be shackled or not. So that, again, that was why I was trying to be transparent and up forward by doing so now to make the court aware that that would be a request of mine at the time.
Okay, all right. So you would be seeking to be unshackled, no leg restraints, no arm restraints at trial, right?
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you also be asking of the court to move around the courtroom when trial would take place?
I'm not sure if this is considered legal advice, but I don't know. I know from seeing other trials, the state and the defense, they maneuver the courtroom in front of the jury, so on and so forth, and they hand things back and forth. I would have to have other movement other than me sitting here. So yes, I would have very limited, reasonable movement in the courtroom for trial. Okay. Yes.
Is there anything else, ma'am, that you would like to tell me with regard to what you're seeking in your motion to be hands-free, for lack of a better word, during any hearings that we may have, and then to be hands-free, unshackled with your legs, and to have movement in the courtroom during the course of the trial? Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me about those requests?
I don't know if you've been able to see my difficulty with just simply trying to take notes. Yes, very much I would like to be unhandcuffed, just to sit here and be in attendance of my hearings, conferences, whatever it is. For the trial, when the time comes for any limited movement that I would have, the stun cuff, I would sign the waiver now. Just whatever it is that I can do in order to enable myself to be able to have the same comfortable atmosphere and movement and equal opportunities just as everyone else.
Okay, thank you. Anything else you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. State any argument.
Your Honor, you've heard the Sheriff's Office's position. They're in charge of courtroom security. They presented basically their position is she should not be unshackled, but you've also heard from Deputy Barnett who explained the options that are available to the court. Our position is if you do not allow her freedom of movement with the stun cuff, then today is probably the best day to start talking about the logistics of how we're going to do this trial so it does not create the inference that she is an inmate. Does that mean the state will be sitting at counsel table to question witnesses? How are we going to go about getting back and forth to the clerk and to the witness to present exhibits if she is not going to be able to do the same with shackles? So we just want to bring everything to the court's attention so we can get it all settled today.
I agree, which was the purpose of why we wanted to set it for today, to address all those circumstances and again think ahead. Ma'am, do you have any closing remarks or arguments that you'd like to make to the court about your desires to be unhandcuffed, unshackled, and or utilize the stun cuff?
I believe that it is unfair that you, number one, want me to represent myself, and then number two, you would like for me to represent myself while being handcuffed, to be able to progressively and actively participate properly in the same as others with just simply being able to write notes. At some point, I'm sure I will be bringing things with me to court that I need to reach for, to open, to pass normal functions in a body as a whole, with the same equal level as anyone in the courtroom would have in order for myself to be able to do the same and function fairly and appropriately. I I don't know if this is legal advice or not, but in a trial, are you able to tell me, are defendants shackled? Or is this something that I don't even need to worry about because they're not even shackled?
Typically, ma'am, the defendants have leg shackles that, as Deputy Lowton identified, they're wrapped so that they're muffled, so that they don't jingle jangle or bring any noise attention. And the privacy panel is located in front of defense counsel's table, would prohibit the jury from seeing those. Their hands are free, but the legs are restricted.
Thank you. Yes, I very much would like to be unhandcuffed just to simply take notes and function normally and equally, just for hearings and so on and so forth, which we have a lot scheduled futuristically. And then when trial comes about, either way with trial and or hearings, the stun cuff, I am readily awaiting for that to be an option and to apply as soon as possible. Whatever it is and however it is that I need to, just to at least just have these removed.
Okay, got it. Any closing remarks, Mr. J?
No, Aaron, just address all the concerns, which is the court's plan.
Got it. All right, thank you very much. I think the Florida Supreme Court has given us the guidance specifically for a case just like this in Weaver versus State, 894 Southern 2nd, 178 by the Florida Supreme Court in 2004. In that case, there was a pro se defendant who was representing themselves who had been charged with first-degree murder, and there was no prior history of violent courtroom outbursts. The defendant in that case was representing themselves, and there was some concerns as to being allowed to move around the courtroom during trial may present some safety hazards. The court identified as there would be, in our case, potential sidebars, access to witnesses, evidence, jurors, etc. And that in that case, Weaver's pro se status meant that he would be moving about the courtroom in close proximity to the judge, jurors, prosecutors, witnesses, and potential firearm evidence. This closer proximity to various trial participants arguably raises greater safety concerns than a defendant who is represented by counsel and has no legitimate reason to wander beyond the defense table. Given those circumstances in which a defendant is charged with first-degree murder was representing himself and moving about the courtroom in close proximity to trial exhibits, especially adverse witnesses, the trial court did not abuse its discretion, even though Weaver had no prior history of violent courtroom behavior. In the Weaver case, the Florida Supreme Court found that the trial court's utilization of a stun belt was not so prejudicial when measured against the other alternative forms of restraint, and whether those alternatives are less prejudicial or viable. There was virtually no alternative to a stun gun given the visibility of other restraints and the security concerns posed by Weaver's pro se status in that case. It is clear as a matter of Florida law that a criminal defendant's right to be free of physical restraints is not absolute, and that under the circumstances in the Weaver case, the decision to employ a stun belt constitutes a rational exercise of the trial court's discretion that was reasonably necessary to ensure order and safety in the courtroom, especially in light of the defendant's pro se status. In that case, we had a firearm. It was first-degree murder. Here we have second-degree murder. The incidents identified by Officer Lotan as to non-compliance in jail for purportedly refusing to return to show up at court, and the charge itself. The charge itself has some level of concern because it is a second-degree murder, but I don't see how where we are right now is not on all fours with Weaver, especially coupled with Ms. Boone's acquiescence to utilizing the stun cuff and saying she'd sign the waiver today. She doesn't have to. You'll have to sign the waiver when we get to trial. So unless I hear anything alternatively from the state, the courts would grant the motion that she would be unhandcuffed for any hearing we have moving forward. Instead of her position in the box, we would probably have her seated at counsel's table, Bob. Unless I hear an objection from the state as to that. We'll address motions first. State, any position with regard to being unshackled and B, being seated at counsel's table for any motions moving forward?
No, we defer to the court and the sheriff's office, who is in charge of security. Our concerns are just making sure that she's given a fair trial and fashioning a remedy that is a fair presentation for the jury to observe.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, so ma'am, the court's gonna grant your motion, and then you will be unhandcuffed for every hearing moving forward. And instead of being in the jury box, you'll be seated at counsel's table, okay? You may still have your leg restraints on, but you'll be hands-free. For the purposes of trial, in accordance with Florida Supreme Court decision in Weaver, you will be hands-free and you will not be shackled with legs. But the stun cuff, as identified by Sergeant Barnett, will be affixed to you and you'll have to sign that waiver. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
For sitting here in the counsel's table, you also said...
I feel bad because you're gonna be like, you want? I could stop it here if you want to, like, because you got to like appearance. And
no, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna jump in the shower because I gotta get showered so that because of the court TV thing. So because I woke up late, threw a hat on again. Unshowered, Bob. Are you unshowered, Jay?
Yes, I am unshowered. Wait, did I take a shower this morning? I can't even remember. No, I took a shower this morning. I did take a shower.
Yeah, I gotta jump in there. All right. Well, I mean, it was the right decision. Like, look, I've been 20 years doing this. I've been represented murderers, or like I've sat in the same holding cell with them for hours at a time with them. Like, it's just like she's not going to be attacking anybody in court. I feel pretty secure about that. I feel like I get what everybody's saying about her. I saw Spitfire. I'm going to dig in too. Like I said, this was a mutually combative. Like, George was not a sweet guy. Now, that's not to say for 1 second that he deserved to die, because he didn't. But this was a shitty relationship where there was negative dependency on both of these people. They were both drinking. But what really screwed her more than anything, even the video, is the fact that she was denying that she was drunk. Like, in that interview, she's like, I wasn't drunk. And then when they play the video, you can hear she's shit-faced.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I don't understand why she was trying to minimize. Like, she obviously completely forgot that she had taken that video. Completely, which to me goes to her mindset at the time that, and look, in terms of mitigation, in terms of sentencing, you could bring up, the alcohol consumption, in terms of it being an excuse for her doing what she did, in terms of leaving him in there, it's no excuse. It's not going to be something that factors in. Now, that being said, I honestly do not believe that she thought that he would die. I mean, was it a shithead thing to do to keep him zipped up in there? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think her intent was like, oh, good, he's going to die. This is the way that I'm going to kill this guy. I don't think that was her intent. But ultimately, and I don't know, I don't even know, has she been charged with second degree? Is that what I think she's charged with?
I
second
believe.
degree?
Yeah, that's what he said. Second degree. Yeah, that's when he was doing the.
Yeah. It's I can't remember from. I thought it was either 11.5 from Benefield, because it was the same thing. Or was that a manslaughter? I think second degree it's 15-year minimum, I think. But I don't know. Like, it's just, it's an interesting case. It really does delve into a lot of issues. I mean, women, like, I'm a very, very big advocate for women. Like I give them way more leeway than I give men, because women have been eating shit in this country for fucking way too long. So I have to admit that there's a little part of me that kind of roots for women who are like, fuck you, and like blast a guy in the face who's been abusing. Like, I like that women, like, and I know that sounds kind of whack in terms of how it ended up for this dude, but like, I just wasn't there. I wasn't in this relationship. I don't know how it was. I don't know how violent. I know he was charged 4 times, and I know that she was charged a couple of times. I think, they had a mutually combative relationship, like where they were physical with one another. Those types of relationships exist, and especially when you introduce alcohol into the system, like, people just don't act normally. So, I give her some grace. I mean, obviously, I think she's going to end up getting convicted on that. Obviously, I think that she should be punished for it. Clearly, you watch that video, you can see She was certainly taunting him. He was certainly asking to get out, begging to get out. I can't breathe. Like, she's wasted. She's probably like, oh, I mean, when I'm like under a blanket with my kids and we're playing and my kids are like, I can't breathe. I'm like, you can breathe. You just can't breathe like you normally breathe when we're out, not under a blanket, and I wasn't like torturing my kids, but if we're like playing, like, I just want the kids to understand like there's situations where you're not going to be able to breathe for real. Don't play, don't be the girl who cried wolf or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm just saying that I think that was probably going through her mind, like that he can breathe. He's just obviously not comfortable. I mean, there's really not a great excuse for her.
Well, wasn't her excuse that there was like a part open where he could unzip himself? Isn't that what she said in the thing? She's like, there was a thing he could unzip. I thought that was her deal. I don't know.
That's definitely what she's claiming. But like during that entire investigation, the cops are like, nah, like I don't see like what he doesn't. You can't see his fingers out, because that was definitely her story. Her story was that, look, I saw his fingers. I thought he was just going to be able to open the zipper, and then I went upstairs thinking that at some point he'd get out and he'd come up, which I actually believe is true. Like again, I see Leslie here, but Leslie, I'm just telling you, when you introduce alcohol, and it sounds like they probably had a bottle of wine a person, and I don't think that she even remembered taking that video. Because there's like, so if you apply that logic to that, she doesn't even recall taking that video, which has completely damned her. You have to kind of put that into play in terms of where her mental state was at the time. And again, alcohol is no excuse. Like, you can't say, oh, well, I was shit-faced, so I didn't mean to kill that person. Like, it's not a viable defense, but it does give you a mindset into her intent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, the fact that video existed and she had no clue. Like, she came into that interview like, I gave you my phone. I want you to look through all the videos that I've taken of him beating me and, abusing the shit out of me. And it's like, and they're like, oh yeah, we found a video. Can't wait to show you this video, lady. Like, she just didn't know. So again, remember, I'm a defense attorney. So like, I'm always trying to think of cases from, a defense attorney's perspective in terms of how I would represent her. Now, does that mean that I don't think that she needs to be punished? Yeah. I mean, ultimately the man lost his life. So clearly, like, I don't think she's walking out of this with a not guilty under any circumstances. I think that the video has doomed her to that. The question becomes whether or not it should be second-degree murder or manslaughter to me. Like, I certainly, and again, there we know, I think Benefield was the manslaughter. I think there it's 11.5 years, or if a gun is involved, which
she had that
no weapon near, she had that enhancement, which made it 30 years for her. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I get it, Leslie. I get it. I've just dealt with a lot of people in the system, and seen and heard a lot of things. So like, I have certain viewpoints, but whatever. All right, man, I'm going to jump in the shower, and I'm going to start streaming it. I think 12:15, man. Have fun with Woo.
So you're 1:15 East. All right. So guys, I'll finish this out. Then I'll probably take a break. I'll portal you to the Bob stream. Then I'm going to decide if they're playing that video that we can't listen to. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I know. Also, maybe her hearing today is live. I don't know. That's how I don't know if her own hearing is. So, Bob, you take a shower. Thank you for coming on. I will.
Love you, man. Of course.
Make sure you subscribe to Bob if you don't. And again, him and Allie. They're covering Robert Tellis, and that is a super interesting case. So after I finish this, I'll portal you there, and then I'll let you guys. We'll figure out what we're doing. So.
All right, y'all.
Go
Love
get
you.
Clean, Bob.
Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks, Jay.
Bye. Bye. All right, let's see. Let's finish this off. See what else happens.
Said that I would be shackled. I'm not shackled now. Will I be shackled then?
My understanding is that you were. If you're not, and the only thing you have is your handcuffs.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. If that's the case, then you'll be seated at counsel's table with that, as you are without your hand restraints.
Okay, so I would be unbound.
Correct.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
I think the sheriff's office.
The other item I have on, yes, sir.
I think the sheriff's office.
Cool, cameraman. Thanks for the zoom in on her socks and sandals. Thank you.
Clarification, I think I am too.
Okay.
I think the situation is because she has handcuffs on now, she doesn't have leg restraints, but for hearings, when her hands are unrestrained, her legs would be restrained.
Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up from the deputy in the back that that's the case. Is that the standard operating procedure, Deputy Logan? Okay, so ma'am, so I'll clarify my order. For the purposes of any hearings, you'll be hands-free, but you will have leg restraints.
Yes.
That's not going to affect any fairness or impartiality because it's just you and me and the state, and no jurors will see that. Yes,
Also,
sir.
Judge, when she's being transported from the jail, she is going to be fully handcuffed with belly chains and all that. We can take those off
In
when
advance.
she gets up here.
Yeah, I agree. I understand that. I'm just worried about the fairness here in the courtroom, especially when we bring in a jury panel. Okay. And for the purposes of trial, ma'am, you'll have no leg restraints, no hand restraints, your hands free, legs free, but you will have the stun cuff affixed to your
By the way,
leg.
I don't know why it just occurred to me. Can you guys imagine when it's jury selection? Can you imagine if you're on that jury panel and Sarah fucking Boone is asking you questions? About being a juror?
As identified by Sergeant Barnett, you're going to have to sign that waiver every day, okay?
Of course, and if I may, if anyone knows, the stun cuff, does it go over clothing or does it have to
It is under your clothing, as Sergeant Barnett identified. I have a representative from the Public Defender's Office who I've asked to be here. She's going to have a conversation with you, ma'am, after our hearing, so she can facilitate clothing for you, including pants that would prohibit the jury from viewing that device on your legs.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Does that clarify for you, State?
Yes, I just saw them and I thought that I saw the confusion based on my experience of how it's done.
Okay.
We cleared it up.
Thank you. Now, ma'am, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to wander wherever you want in the courtroom. There's going to be spots where you're going to be able to go to. You're not going to be able to walk all the way up to witnesses. You're not going to be able to walk everywhere that you want. There's going to be places that you're going to have to go to. When we get closer to trial, we'll address the box, for lack of a better word, for where you'll be able to go and not go, and I'm going to give the same limitations to the state, okay?
I understand.
All right. Are you okay with addressing that later, Counselor?
Yeah, I mean, what I would envision is if she needs an exhibit brought to witness, I have no problem getting up and doing that for her.
I was going to, either you could do it or I was going to have the deputies do it. So, ma'am, I envision that because you're going to be able to move about freely and our jurors are not going to know that you have any restraints on you and they're not going to be able to see the stun cuff, you can conduct any questions or statements or arguments from where you would like to be in the courtroom, either at counsel's table or at the podium here for you. If you need to approach a witness or you need to provide evidence to someone, I'm going to ask you and the state to both provide that information or that document to one of the deputies, and they'll be able to approach the witness for you.
Yo,
okay?
Viv.
All right. Do you have any questions about the court's ruling or the procedures for you having movement throughout the courtroom during the course of our trial?
No, I understand, and you said that it would be clarified greater once we get closer to that date. But I would like to ask, please, when the time does come for any exhibits or anything to be handed to jurors, yourself or anyone in the courtroom, is it an option for the state or a deputy, or is it specifically whoever's the closest and can do it faster?
So what I'm going to do, ma'am, is I've spoken with the sheriff's office. I'm going to endeavor to have additional security in the office or in the courtroom so that there will be a deputy for basically your disposal will be seated closer to you so that if you have a document that you want to bring to a witness's attention or ask them questions about it, you can hand it to that dedicated deputy for you, ma'am.
Yes, that is my preference, please. Thank you.
That's what I'm endeavoring to try to do for you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about the ruling?
No, sir.
Okay, so your motion is granted for the reasons stated on the record.
Thank you.
State, anything to clarify?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, the last issue that I had on my list this morning was the scheduling order and notice of hearings that the court entered on August 5 required the jail to provide the every Monday at 9 a.m. commencing August 12, 2024, a representative from the Orange County Jail cell email to my judicial assistant, email provided in the order, all notebook entries from IMS from the prior week, Monday through Sunday, for every issuance of a laptop and USB device is issued to the defendant. I'm simply changing that to close of business from 9 a.m. to close of business at 5 p.m. And that order will be hand delivered to Ms. Boone and e-filed to the state today. Okay. Is there anything else, state, that we need to address?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, is there anything else that you'd like to bring to my attention?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
In regards to the status report you were just speaking about regarding them providing me with a laptop each day, what is your definition of entries?
The protocol, ma'am, that was read to you, that you were given a hard copy of Monday, and was also mailed to you on, I believe, the 30th, at the appropriate P.O. box for legal mail. The
protocol identifies entries that are in the information management system at the jail for when that laptop is released to you and then returned.
Okay, so it's simply just an entry by the officer stating that they gave it to me and it was returned.
I'm making that assumption. I'm just relying on what is in the protocol.
Okay, my concern was they're stating what it was that I looked at for how long and
I don't know that they're going to record that information under the protocol, ma'am. It's just simply what it's checked out and returned under the protocol.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. And then also for the notice of the expected evidence and witnesses at the trial, we didn't discuss the physical evidence, and I know that that was something pending in regards to the media being.
The physical evidence, we're set to review that here in court on September 3rd at 9 o'clock in the morning, and that was identified in the order from the 5th, ma'am, which you said that you got a copy of through the mail. That's in paragraph 5. The state's physical evidence will be reviewed with the state and the defendant on September 3, 2024 at 9 a.m. at courtroom 12A, Orange County Courthouse, and the address of the courthouse. So the physical evidence will be reviewed at that point in time.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. My question, though, was, are you still trying to decide or research having the media here?
Yes, ma'am. I pulled the case law on it. I need to review that case law to see if an evidentiary hearing is required. I know that we have a hearing that we had set for August 14th, which was to address a couple of other issues, specifically your motion to receive the hard copy documents. We no longer need that hearing on August 14th at 1:30 because the jail has confirmed that they have space and Mr. Lane's taking care of that today. But I do want to utilize that hearing for, I still want to utilize that hearing since we've carved it out. So at that hearing, we can address the media issue based on the court's review of the case law and determine if we have to have an evidentiary hearing, we can have an evidentiary hearing at that time. And also we can utilize that as a status as to your review, ma'am, of the digital evidence and to confirm that you've had the opportunity to review it. You don't have to finalize it, but just to see where you are in reviewing that digital evidence that the state may be seeking to introduce at trial.
This is for the 14th?
That's correct, ma'am.
And what is the time, please?
1:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, and for the case law that you are researching and referencing, are we able to have a copy of it prior?
Sure. I don't see any problem. It's the Miami Herald decision. I don't know the citation off the top of my head, but I don't have a problem.
I have no problem. I'm familiar with the case.
Sure. Ma'am, what I'll do is I'm going to prepare another order. I'll be able to hand deliver you the one today, changing the Orange County Jail providing the notebook entries from 9 a.m. to close of business. I can hand deliver that to you today. But in the order that I mail to you, ma'am, it'll provide the case law with regard to the your privacy and media concerns.
Yes, thank you.
And that will be heard on August 14th at 1:30, in addition to a status on the digital. Now, ma'am, based on the scheduling order that the court entered back on August 5, you have 14 days from today, absent of showing a good cause, to extend any deadlines to provide your objections in writing to that evidence.
Forgive me, it's objections for the evidence from the state?
The digital evidence only.
Of the 2 USB drives from Mr. Lane?
No, ma'am. The USB drive that Mr. Lane's going to be providing to the jail today that has those 9 items as identified in this notice of expected evidence that you were provided today.
14 days and I have to write objections?
That is correct. So your objections to the digital discovery will be due no later than August 23rd. And I will put this all in order for you as well, ma'am.
Thank you.
I believe that addresses all of the court's matters that were teed up for today. State, do you have anything else?
No, no.
Ma'am, is there anything else?
I do have this. I made a copy of it for you. This letter that I supplied to Captain Di Giovanni upon her return, knowing what I'm requesting. I don't know if I'm able to tell you, but it is a basic laptop. I have no internet and I have no phone. I'm trying to utilize the classroom that is in our dorm. I'm trying to have access to a phone. The USB drives, how they're being handled, I feel very uncomfortable with, as I referenced to you prior. They're being taken out of the bags, and then paperwork is being removed from those bags, like the protocol security paperwork that I needed to reference, and then they're resealing the bags. The other day, one of the officers took the USB drives upon...
Wow, I'm in jail because I suffocated someone in a suitcase, and I don't have Wi-Fi. Wow.
...herself to remove from the bags herself, and then just handed me both the USB drives. I don't know where they go. I don't know who controls them. I don't know how they're stored. And one of my requests was to keep it at my bunk in my locked drawer, along with, of course, the internet, if I could be supplied earphones and headphones for listening, and a word program, just simply to be able to type motions and letters and anything that needs to be documented or recorded. It is simply a basic laptop in order for me to view my USB drives and just as I stated earlier to you, some of the parts of the USB drives cannot be viewed, which I will discuss with Mr. Lane tomorrow when I visit with him.
Ma'am, you can give your letter to the deputy. We will file that in the court file. Part of the reason we had set the August 14th hearing on your motion for the hard copy discovery was that Captain DiGiovanni was returning on August the 12th from a vacation, and we were endeavoring to have a representative from the jail or herself be here for that hearing. So in addition to a status as to your review of the digital evidence, a hearing on the media request, or prevent media from being at the September 3rd discovery viewing hearing, will address your concerns as identified in this letter, and have a representative from the jail, be it Captain DiGiovanni or someone else, here to address those concerns.
Thank you. And if I may say one last thing, please.
No.
In regards to the media being a part of my discovery hearing, I am highly opposed to it.
Yeah, we get it, stupid.
What are you highly opposed to?
That is, I know that I have a lot of my case details that are already online. For me to be recorded, inspecting and testing and photographing, I believe that is my business only, and one privacy that I should be able to maintain, especially being in the courtroom doing so.
You're talking about the September 3rd evidence unit, right?
For the media?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Again, ma'am, we're going to have that hearing on the 14th.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, ma'am?
No.
Okay. I will see you all on August 14th at 1:30. Oh, thank you. Ma'am, as the attorney from the Justice Administration Commission had identified, he has provided the court via email the pro se packet. I have a hard copy for you, and I'm going to have Ms. Barrios also send you a copy by way of mail. It was already mailed? Okay, we're going to mail you a copy as well, ma'am. Today, I'm going to give this to the deputy and provide to you. This is the pro se packet that the JAC attorney made reference to on our hearing on August 5.
Yes, thank you. And then also the public defender's office, you said, would be meeting me downstairs?
They're going to be meeting you momentarily. Be that right here or downstairs, I'm not sure. But they will be meeting you to discuss that. Okay, thank you, Ms. Click. All right, any other questions, Dave? No, Your Honor. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you on August 14th at 1:30. We'll return this Boone to the Orange County Jail.
I'm going to fucking get a 3D printer solely to make the world's tiniest fucking violin to mail to Sarah Boone and just say, wah. It's just going to be a letter that says WAAHHHHH, just this full page letter with a bunch of crying emojis attached to the world's tiniest fucking violin that I'm going to mail to Sarah Boone. Ma'am, I don't have Wi-Fi in the jail because I fucking killed someone. Shut up. I'm fucking sick of her. Fucking idiot. All right. What am I doing? All right. If she has a hearing, she's supposed to have a hearing in about an hour. But I don't think it's stupid. They don't have Zoom, and No News covers it. I don't know why No News covers it live. They release it later. So, and the other option is Young Thug. Apparently they're on a break now. But if they're playing that stupid video, I don't know what to do. Oh, they're back? Are they just doing like motions? I feel like they're working through lunch or something, right?
Through 90, potentially 98, line 8.
I think they're gonna be playing these stupid
tell us
videos for
whether
like,
that-
from what Thugger Daily is saying, they're gonna be playing these videos for like hours. Like there's like one video that's like 8 hours. And it really is not good that the audio is awful. All right, so let me try to figure this out. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, so Bob and Allie will be live at 1:15, Bob said. So I'll portal you guys to that stream. I'll try to figure out what to do this afternoon. If it's just bad audio, Lil Woody, and no Sarah Boone, I'm not sure what I should do. Let me see. we could watch the Sarah Boone body cam. I don't know if people would want to do that, but all right, let me think about it. Thank you guys so much for being here today and all your support as always. Thank you, mods. I did just get another receipt for my FOIA request. Oh, and Joanne sent me a $25 Venmo. Jedi, the best. Mr. and Mrs. Jedi says, just because you're the bestest, you're the bestest. So thank you all so much. And I'll tweet out or just have your notifications on Files Seeking Justice. So you have that. Because you can always get notifications there. Thank you all, and I'll let you guys know. Thank you so much, everybody. I set up the portal. It should take you to the TELUS coverage from Bob and Allie. So hopefully this works. It's been not working sometimes. It's been working sometimes. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, J-Bo Nation. Please give all of yourselves an ovation. No, it won't be real long until next time. Oh, J-Bo Nation, there's no place we'd rather be. J-Bo Nation is the place to 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 be.